Let's see if this will load. Load. Come on. There we go. Now it loaded. I gotta share to the book of faces and tweet to the Wanzol.
Free Tax USA. We're federal filing.
Alright, so it's working. Everybody, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Now, it was supposed to start at 9:45. It's now 9:54 and he still hasn't started. Huh. I wonder where he is. Oh wait, he's in chat. Hey, you can see there, this is from his kick chat. Maybe I'll take a shit in my underwear while doing push-ups, guys. So he's in his chat. He is literally in his chat. And yet... where the fuck is he? Why has he not started the stream yet? Like, he's there. He is in chat. But he refuses to start the stream for some reason. Luis, how's it going? Like, come on, DSP, any day now. The people are waiting. Lee, how's it going? When I saw this in chat, I'm like, oh, I gotta screenshot this real quick. Glad I did. I have watched Seven Deadly Sins. I caught up to it, and then it's like, oh, hey, there's gonna be another season next year, and I just completely forgot to watch it anymore. Eagles. Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck the three-peat. Fuck the refs. Oh. Is he about to start? He is about to start. Finally. Hey, DSP, you're only 11 minutes late. Wow, what a horrible image. That's the image you're going with. Horrible intro. What the fuck are you doing? God.
Well, you know, they say better late than never. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smark Guys episode 4 for January 30th, 2025. Not as originally scheduled, but we're here to cover Saturday night's main event and Monday Night Raw. I'm Darkside Phil, and with me, as always, is Ashton, also known as PPP. How are you, sir?
I say he's wearing a queen's crown, a real snake or wearing a knight armor.
Buddy.
Not a king.
Holy fuck! Last week we were beset with internet outages. Then fucking
Why is PPP echoing again?
Then this week I got drunk as fuck, hung over, and played hooky on you and fucking bailed. But now, and then you got sick, and now you've recovered miraculously just in time for the wrestling show. It's exciting to be here. We're on the go home. The road to the Royal Rumble.
To the Royal Rumble.
It's exciting because first pay-per-view we're covering together. You know, first time I've seen a pay-per-view from WWE in a long time.
Is it echoing?
Are they saying there's
Oh no!
Oh, come on. There's no way there could be echo.
I love those videos of the like AI voices when we're playing video games. My favorite is those when they're playing Minecraft.
I'm looking at everything right now. It looks like there should not be an echo. The only thing I could do, I'm going to try this. I don't think this is going to work. All right, but I'm going to try to mute this, and let's see if this happens. All right, can anyone hear Ashton when he talks? Ash, say something.
Test, 1, 2. This is the
It's very quiet.
Hey, can you guys hear anything there? Let's see what they say.
Sounds worse, dude. How do you guys not get this shit said? This is your 4th episode.
Wait, how could it be way worse? Yeah, I don't know.
This is your 4th episode. How are you still having issues?
The only thing, okay, there's a little echo from here. Here we go. What I did is I
I
turned
think
down your
Ashton's
audio a
fucking
little
with
bit.
him. That would be
So,
hilarious. Ashton's
How
doing
could
this
they
just
say
to fuck
we're?
with him.
They might be messing with us too. Like I don't know. Okay, hold on. Maybe now we're good. I think maybe now we'll be good. We'll see.
Oh, buddy. Let's get some subs. Let's get some fucking donos for this fantastic fucking audio that Lord Phil has graced us with. 15 years.
Say it could be on Phil's end,
Better?
but it sounds really quiet
Better,
now.
much better. I did. Okay, we got it. Much better.
Oh, yes.
Like he's shouting so hard to hear him.
Now, folks, we're making it now.
All right.
So I want to unveil for everybody. I just got this in the mail today. I thought Phil would love it. Take a look.
Look at this.
This is the bag it comes in.
Wow.
Hulkamania, established 1984. And if we unzip this bad boy, this is sexy stuff, Phil.
Wow.
You're going to love this, Phil. Look at this.
Oh, I
belt,
remember
buddy.
this. I remember this belt.
Look at this belt, buddy. This is like yours from back
He
in
sounds
the day,
so
bro.
excited, doesn't he?
Look at this. The red and yellow, brother.
Hell yeah.
It says Hulkamania on the side there. It says Running Wild on the other strap. It's so sexy and shiny there. You were 16 years old in 1984, eh?
Of
Those
course.
were your teenage years back.
I'm
in
older
the
than
80s.
Hogan. You didn't know that. I just look really good for my age, of course.
Oh, yeah, man. You look really good for 65 years old. They're saying in chat, all the women are going to want me wearing this.
There you go.
Buddy, this is the chick magnet. This gets bitches so wet. You bring them over to the crib. You show them your collection of
Oh,
wrestling
this is so bad, but I love it.
the Hulk Hogan signature series. Ooh, PPP. Put the penis in. Oh, it gets so fucking
this is
horny.
so fucking bad, I love it.
Hulkster and his belt there. We gotta get Phil some title belts. We gotta hit the goal so Phil
Oh, this
can
is
get
so
the
fucking
Hogan
cringeworthy.
belt,
I'm loving
brother.
it.
Yeah, if I were to get a
Ooh,
belt, what
it's
belt would I even
shiny.
get? There's so many that you could get now, the replicas. There's like tons and tons. Or I could make a custom. They have custom belts too that you can get made, you know, with all stuff. that you
Guys,
want.
want me to
So
wear
I
a
don't
custom
even know where
belt?
I-
Give me money.
Yeah, think about it.
World Grifting Championship belt with the dollar signs. Dark Side Phil, 15 years running, grifting
16.
fucking champion.
Going on
Speaking
17.
Of which, Phil,
Yeah.
did you see Hall of Fame Hogan? Hall of Fame Hogan is dropping on WWE Champions, Phil.
No.
We gotta get you Hall of Fame Hogan.
No, you're
George.
misinformed. Hall of Fame
No,
Hogan's
Joe,
been
Joe,
in the
Joe.
game for many years. He's been redesigned, so now he's better in the modern game because he was very outdated. They've tweaked his moveset, so now the power gems will do way more damage when they drop. You know, Hogan's knees were giving out over the years. They had to reinforce his knees so that he could hang with all the new superstars in the game.
They're saying it's like 50 million point or something like this. I don't know. There was all sorts of attributes they were promoting about the new and improved Hall of Fame Hogan. You want to tell us all about it?
I mean, the thing is, in that game, whenever they do something like that, they'll then immediately try to make it a cash grab. So I didn't even know
So
this.
DSP already
They
spent
made
all the
him.
money
He's
on
only
it.
$30. You can just get him for $30. It's like, wait,
So you
what?
got him.
You don't have to do 7,000 pulls to get this character. No, they're just selling him for $30 if you want him. It's kind of like, hey, it's a way to get into the game if you're trying to play catch up if you're just starting now. So Hall of Fame
Okay,
Hogan, $29.99 if you want him.
I was gonna ask, how much did they get you for this time?
Day off tomorrow, so I'm
Like,
happy.
Fuck, Goldberg must have been like $1,100 or so to get the new Goldberg.
Oh, of
wasn't
course.
he?
You really gotta,
Ooh.
you're mortgaging your house, second, third mortgage to get some of these characters. Like, actually, the latest one was Hall of Fame Farouk, or actually Hall of Fame whatever his real
Ron
name is. I
Simmons.
I always call him Farouk, but I forget what his real name is. Simmons.
Ron Simmons.
Shit. But anyway,
Ron
damn.
Simmons.
Ron Simmons.
Damn!
Yes. Damn.
Damn.
So he's the latest, and I think tomorrow is Hall of Fame JBL actually is releasing in the game, so he'll probably be a cool 1,000 to get, I'm sure.
Hall of Fame JBL.
That's one
We
up your
gotta
alley,
get-
man. That's
I
up your
love
alley.
JBL,
I say play
man.
Raid Shadow
JBL
Legends, but you don't have to
thick
spend money.
eyes. They're so
Don't do as well as
juicy.
others, but
And he
you
does
don't
that
need to spend money.
Texas two-step coming out of the Longhorn limousine. Anyway, so the big question I have in the Grill Phil segment, let's just set it up. Do you have the new graphic for Grill Phil, Phil?
Oh, the new graphic for Grill Phil?
There we
Ah!
go. It's Grill
Ah!
Phil! Phil's in hell! He's being grilled, folks. It's Grill
So
Phil.
sad that after 16 years, he's got to rely on
This is the
PPP to
segment
get
where
any
we
hype
go
going
over
on.
the weekend Phil and press him on his lies, his scams, his grifts,
Whew.
whatever apparently people are accusing Phil of. The first thing that happened this week, Phil,
Okay.
I swear to God, I got 6 DMs, 7 DMs about
All right.
this.
It's got to be a good one then.
Phil, are you wearing adult diapers?
Yeah, of course. I've been wearing them for several years. Everyone knows that.
No, but Phil, like, look at, I have this image that I was sent. All of these detractors, they're telling me that this is proof
Uh-huh.
that you are wearing, depends, that you are wearing diapers.
Really?
Can we pull this image up and can we explain
Let's try to take
what's
a look.
going on here?
So how do we see it? How would
Tommy
we,
Astro, how you doing?
give it
Okay, I
shared?
sent
Yes,
it on
PPP is
Discord.
great for
Okay.
this.
I mean, if we could just pull it up, like, just so the audience can see what's going on here.
See here.
What?
Remember, guys, this is a WWE stream. This is talking about Saturday Night Main Event and Monday Night Raw.
We got to enhance.
If you hand. Okay,
They
hold
say
on.
it's
We'll
turned
enhance.
Fire back on. We just keep the flames on the whole time.
Go. Enhance. Can we just? Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's see here.
Because it looks like they're calling you down from the Pampers. What the fuck? That's not right. Oh, yeah, he's in hell again. Okay.
Let's see. It's, I mean,
got
that's
like
actually
a
really
real
hard to see. Isn't
Dump
it? Yeah.
truck ass.
I'm trying to see, but I mean, it just
Do
looks like my.
they have it on screen so they can see it?
Oh yeah, it's on screen fully. They could see it.
Okay,
for sure.
it's on screen now.
We're staring at it
What
right now.
is
I don't. What do
that?
you guys
Like,
see?
what is that like? What's going on there, man?
I don't know. It doesn't. It doesn't look to me. It doesn't look like much. You know, I wear lounge pants on stream, and it looks like I was
Lounge
standing. This is probably
pants?
when I was first messing with the camera earlier in the week, and I stood up, and maybe like the pants had stuck to my butt for a second, but then they loosened up. I don't know. It doesn't look. It doesn't look stuffed at all from this picture that you
don't
shared.
think so? It's bulging out like there's some sort
Yeah,
of package.
like you shit
in there.
yourself.
Huh.
Like, what is in there? Is it a purse? Is it a diaper? Like, are you you're getting old. Are you wearing diapers? It's okay to be honest.
You know, maybe one day, but honestly, no,
One
I'm not.
day,
Yeah, I would tell you if
Phil.
I was, because it would be a part of the show for sure. But
Phil,
no.
Will you prove to all of us right now that you're not wearing Depends?
Oh, of
will you-
course. Hold
Will
on, now I
you
gotta
Oh,
please
God,
resize
I gotta
this
see
thing.
his underwear,
take off
really?
your pants, Phil. And show us all that you don't wear Depends.
All right,
We
hold
need
on.
the debunking.
Oh my
of
God, we
this.
don't really need to see
have,
this,
like,
do we?
Multiple camera angles now. Phil can stand up.
That is
There's
true.
Fucking motion tracking.
Well, DSP asked the question, how often did he go commando? Because he just now bought underwear. And he's so confused. Like, guys, how do I go to the bathroom while I'm wearing underwear? So yeah, how long did he go commando for? Gross.
Hold on. All right, so let me get it back to you now.
Like a phone. Is it a phone or a package?
No, I actually
Like,
I don't keep my phone in my pocket like ever
And
anymore.
what the fuck is in your pants?
I have no idea why it looks like that, honestly. It might have just
It
been
was
the,
so-
you
I
know,
was so
just me
baffled.
moving for a second, you know, and it ended up looking like that. But
'Cause
all right,
this
so hold
was
on.
on
let me-
the 24th of January. You can't remember
6 days
exactly
ago.
what you had stuffed down your pants 6 days ago, Phil.
Hmm. Let's see. Well, what we can do. Right now, I don't know if the
Here
AI
we
is going to
go.
work. I don't know if the AI is going to work. I turned it on. I might have to
this is
re-enable
Phil's
it.
doing a big
Yeah.
strip tease
Let me
for
see here.
everybody
Can I get the
right
AI
now.
to
Oh
work?
God, this is gonna be so
No, the AI
bad.
doesn't want to work tonight.
I don't want to see this.
Oh, here
Cover
we go.
your eyes.
Okay. All right.
There
so,
we go.
All right.
With the power of AI. Oh shit, it's a little high, but it's all right.
Oh, that's true. The AI is going to follow my face. I didn't even realize that the AI is going to follow my
We
face. It's
got
not
it
going to
right.
follow.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I can turn it
we'll
off.
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I can
just-
turn it. If I turn off the AI, maybe it won't follow me. Now it's not gonna stop.
Like you have like these commands with your hands to make
I do.
it move.
Watch this one. Watch
That
this
is
one.
actually
Crazy.
really
Look at this.
cool.
Hold on.
You hit the L. It's the L for the detractors, buddy.
Look at
You're
this.
taking the L.
It's supposed to zoom in automatically, but the lighting in here is bad tonight. I need to get better lighting. I am working on getting better lighting for this. So yeah, see, it's
Ooh,
not,
more RGB lights,
not
guys.
zooming.
More RGB
Yeah.
lights is what he needs.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
Ah, it won't let me zoom in. It's fighting me. It worked yesterday, of course, but now that we actually want to use it, it doesn't want to work. So, but it follows.
Listen,
me
the
all around
AI
the
on
room,
that
no matter
camera is
where I
actually
go.
really fucking cool. It's
Is
just
there
too bad
is there
the
like a man? Look at
subject's
it go.
trash.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It goes everywhere. I could go to the other side of the room. It actually spins 360 degrees, so it's like having a cameraman in the room.
Well, look, we gotta debunk this once and for all.
Oh, sure. I'll listen.
Listen, let's just show them all, Phil. He's
Here you
a
go.
sexy
Boxer
boy.
shorts.
Just
Boxer
pull
briefs.
it. No, pull her right down, Phil. Let's see it all. Let's see it all, Phil, because they're saying.
Let's not
Listen,
see it all.
What's the deal with the boxers thing?
This show is on
no.
YouTube, so we do have to restrain ourselves a little bit so that
Well,
we don't get
gotta
suspended.
See the full leg, Phil. We gotta see at least some thigh.
Oh,
How am I gonna get hard if I can't see PSP's thighs?
well, I think that's the point.
I
is
feel
that we
bad
don't
for
want anyone
PPP
getting
because
hard during the
PPP has
show.
to deal with
Yeah,
this.
Well, how are we gonna get the
He's got to try to make
donos
him
then?
entertaining.
How are we gonna get them to donate? So, okay, this is the thing. So you're now promising you have a new set of boxers.
Oh yes.
7 days a week, new boxers.
Okay,
and
so
the
hold
goal-
on. Let's preface this. All right. So last week on the show, all right, I told you about my new socks, and everyone was like, "Oh, what's he talking about?" And I showed them, and you know, the socks. There's different kinds. There's merino wool. There's bamboo threads. They're very nice socks. And I told you I had pairs of socks that are specific to the foot, and everyone was like, "No, you're full of shit." And I showed you. No, actually, there's a right foot and there's a left foot. And I showed it off, and people just were blown away, right? Like, this is some really new shit, mind-blowing stuff, okay? So I knew I had to top it. I knew this week we had to do something even better than
When
last
Phil's
week.
entertaining, it's for the
So,
wrong
I
reason.
needed to buy new underwear. We've been talking about my underwear has holes in it. Got to throw out all the old one. So I ordered a set online, a 7-pack of boxer briefs. And these actually are also bamboo threaded boxer briefs. They're meant to be moisture wicking, cooling, everything nice, calm, comfortable down there, right?
Right.
So I ordered them. And I swear to you, I didn't
And they're like
even
$60.
know, okay, what they really were. They arrived. And I opened the pack and I said, "What is that on the back of each set?" I swear to you, I did not know. I have a set of boxer briefs for every day of the week. They are specific to the day.
Are they monogrammed like MTW?
Do you really want to see?
Yeah, no, get the boxers. Phil, we need to see the boxers.
All
Do
right.
you have the old ones, or did you throw those ones out?
I threw most of the old ones out. Like the waistbands were really worn out too. Like they were all ugly, falling apart.
Well, when you
raggedy.
have to
Just like you.
contain the king's massive package, no earthly waistband could really hold up.
I thought this was supposed to be a wrestling stream. Where's the wrestling?
Can I get it to
The
work
old
again? Here we go.
fucking holy undergarments there, Phil. Like, we gotta see those as
All right, I'll be
well.
right back.
They
Oh,
fell
boy.
apart. Oh,
This
DSP's
is
gonna
the
hate
best
that.
shit. Look at Phil.
When they fall apart, he's gonna be all, guys, they're cheap
No!
trash.
He's
It's just-
winning.
they're just
This is
cheap
the
trash.
best shit ever. The king's jewels.
I say the
Gotta
sick voice would
see
try to sound
the
like Batman.
king's jewels tonight. His
Guys, I am
genetic
Batman. I mean,
grapefruit,
Pig
the
Roach. Give me
genetic
money.
jackhammer of dark side Phil, everyone. Holy Thunder Lips, the ultimate male, says Phil is winning. He's winning, damn it. He's a king. He's a legend. You think, no, the tracking camera is so fucking sick. It's so cool. Oh, yeah.
So cool, guys. Don't forget to give him money
Nice.
on his wrestling show.
It needs more light. The stupid thing. Once I get this new light, it's coming tomorrow.
The
It should be able to track
Undertaker
me. The stupid thing
purple light?
keeps losing me in the room. So, but anyway, all right.
So he spent more
these
money.
are the new boxer briefs that I got. All right,
Oh,
And they're
something he
called
doesn't
Bamboo
need.
Cool, which means they actually have the
Bamboo
really,
cool.
really soft, I mean, this is like ridiculously soft fabric. I didn't know they were that good, but they're actually much better than I thought that they were going to be. And they're really,
Until
they
they fall
got the
apart.
fly and everything, all the features. So I'm taking them out of the package. 'Cause I'm going to throw them in the washer. And I'm looking, I look at it, I said, what the hell is that? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. All right. And I swear I'm not making this up. This is real. All right.
The Friday underwear! No fucking way! Bow down to the King of Kings. Somebody asked, what is that white stain, Phil? Is there a white stain?
No. These are brand new. I haven't even worn them yet. They're fresh out of the wash.
You know what I mean? What is this general friend in chat trying to fucking do? He's trying to fuck with us, saying there's a white stain. So those ones are the Friday.
Well,
bear.
another light. Of course he did.
So each day is a different color. Each day is like there's like gray, like a mustard yellow, like a brown. Each one's a different
Brown,
color.
oh,
Can we
great.
see the brown
hide the
ones or the
stains.
mustard yellow ones?
I'm
Why
wearing the
can't-
mustard yellow ones.
All right, take down those drawers. Let's see the full shebang. Come on. Let's see a little bit of the outline for Brian Dunn, Phil. Show Bri your outlines,
Well,
buddy.
if Brian Dunn were to drop maybe around, I don't know, 50 subs, maybe I would,
Brian, please. We're begging you for Phil's outlines right now. Fuck.
Where is the wrestling?
Subs, Bri.
This is a wrestling stream, right? There will eventually be
bro.
wrestling on this wrestling
Where's
stream.
the skin? It's because nobody's fucking paying. Let's get some fucking money. Let's get some subs. And then maybe Phil will go an inch lower. Or 2 or 3 lower. And we'll
Oh,
see
this is
it
so
all.
bad.
We'll see it all. Okay.
only Smarks. The only Smarks.
They were wet when you bought them.
The only Smark stream. Okay, the next thing on my docket.
Okay.
What was the deal with the cake, Phil? What's the idea behind all this?
So this is interesting. All right.
No, it's
so
not.
this one happened.
not
I had
interesting.
nothing really to do with this one. So we're actually coming up on my 100 goals hit celebration, meaning every stream I have a goal I try to hit. And if we hit it, we add one to a running total. And I've only been doing this since like mid-December. It was like right before Christmas when I started this. So in about a month, we're right now at 86 goals hit. So we're almost to the 100 goal celebration. And during this celebration, I'm going to do a big marathon. The viewers are voting on a game for me to play during this event and all of this going on. And so it was actually Rare Tricks. I don't think Rare Tricks is here tonight on Kick, but Rare Tricks, who's a regular viewer and supporter on Kick, had said, I want to do something for the celebration. What I'd like to do is I'd like to order you some food off of this website. And he gave me the website. It's actually called Gold Belly. You can look it up. It's a website where basically you can get food from all over the country from gourmet restaurants. And they'll send you either the food pre-made and frozen, so you just warm it up, you eat it yourself. Or in some cases, they'll send you the ingredients so you can actually make the dish yourself from the restaurant. That one I don't get. Like, if you're paying top dollar, shouldn't you just have the dish made? Like, if you're going to cook it yourself, why?
Are we about to get another, guys, chicken on the bone is too hard to eat. They should take the meat out the bone for the money that I'm paying.
Are you paying, like, a bunch of money for the food? That I don't understand.
Brushing your teeth with a running chainsaw, don't do that.
And then you just, like, toss it
That'd
in your
be
oven or
bad.
whatever, and it tastes really good. So the first thing he wanted me to do was he wanted me to
Nice,
use
Lord Diaz parody.
trash can
Always good to have
nachos
that.
from Guy Fieri. Okay, it's from Diners,
Okay.
Drive-Ins, and Dives and all that. And I looked into it, and I'm like,
your twin brother, yeah.
my twin brother. Yeah, well, yeah, we look completely alike.
You totally look the same as Guy Fieri.
We are
there.
both authentic Italians, of course. So, you know, I mean.
They're all the
So,
same.
so I looked into it, and basically what it is, this is the trash can nachos. I'm like, why do they call them trash can nachos? I'm not even kidding you. All they do is they give you all the ingredients that you would put in normal nachos, like tortilla chips, jalapenos, cilantro. I think like your protein of choice, like chicken. And all they do is they give you the ingredients, and they say, so here's a mini trash can. Put it in there, put it in your oven, take it out, put it upside down, and dump it on a plate. Guess how much that costs? $100.
It really was $100.
$100.
The fuck?
$100?
Like-
That's an outrage.
I could fucking make that at home for $10 myself.
That's
I don't need those.
That's 2/3 of a goal.
Yeah,
The
it's
fucking shysters.
it's just ridiculous. Like way overpriced just because Guy's name is on it, right? So I said, I went back to him and I was like, I don't think even people would want to see that on like the stream. Like, do you want to see me just eat nachos? That's kind of boring, right? You want to see something special, something different.
Yeah, like the
Special
chicken
guys
nuggets
like
from Taco
cocaine.
Bell,
Of
or
course,
the
very
Black
special.
Whopper from Burger King, you know, or the Krabby Patty that you scammed and never delivered. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't deliver it to me. That's what happened.
That's
Of
what
course.
they wouldn't bring it to the king himself, so that's what they fucking deserve. Fuck them.
So Rear Tricks went back to the site and he looks at it and he's looking at other stuff and he found something. He presented it.
That's right. He wouldn't drive the 2.1 miles to the Wendy's near him. Nope, can't do that, guys. If it's not able to be ordered on DoorDash, it doesn't exist.
This to me. He says, "What about this Italian rum cake? Is this real? Because I'm Italian, so I would know if it's real or not." And he goes,
No, you
"It's
wouldn't.
Italian rum
You're
cake."
Polish.
And I looked at it, and surprisingly enough, it's 100% legit. It's actually like a dessert that Italians eat. They brought it over from Italy to the U.S. And what it is, it's a layer
You're
cake,
Polish.
and they actually soak it in rum, so it's an alcoholic cake.
So
Okay.
you're gonna get shittered that day.
If you eat a lot of it, I mean, you eat one piece.
I
know.
thought you did a gin cake though.
Well, I mean,
Can
that
we-
might
can
have
we-
too much
can we-
bite. I mean, that's crazy.
Can
Gin
we pour
cake,
the gin over the top of it to give it that robust, fruity flavor?
and you light it on
Robust
fire,
flavor.
burn it.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
You mean that Kool-Aid sauce they tries to call food?
So what it is, it's this alcoholic cake and it has layers like pudding, like vanilla pudding, chocolate pudding, and it has like a frosting on it. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's authentic because when I was a kid, we used to get what we called Italian birthday cake, and the only difference is that in addition to the pudding, they also add layers of fruit. So there'd be like a layer of strawberries with like a strawberry puree and a layer of bananas. It's delicious. And they actually would even like frost it on the outside and put
Yeah,
like
you don't want 'em
nuts or
either.
shots. And I used to get this all the time when I was a kid. My parents would go to a real Italian bakery and we would have it, and the whole family would have a piece, like a
Real
giant
Italian
birthday cake,
bakery,
right?
guys.
So I'm
when I
looking at
was
this
told
one
By
and-
the detractors, you didn't know what a rum cake was because you weren't authentically Italian. Is this false?
I knew exactly what it was. What are they talking about?
The
I
whole time?
just described the difference between the
thought
rum
at
cake and the birthday.
beginning you went like, "What? What's that?" That's what they were saying. But
Oh, well,
that's-
because here's the thing. I don't know the real names of anything. You know, when I was growing up as a kid, no one knew the real names of anything. Like, I'm sure there's a name for the Italian birthday cake I'm describing. I just don't know the authentic name. We've got it all the time.
Authentic,
And
guys.
so I didn't know that cake was called the Italian rum cake. I just knew that there was an alcoholic cake because I had some of it.
Yeah,
Tiramisu's the
So,
fucking delicious.
so anyway, I told him that looks
Guys,
really good.
make me hungry for tiramisu
Like, that looks
now.
good to me. I think that would be cool. We cut it on stream. I'll try a piece,
Yeah.
you know. That'd be kind of cool. And it's not
Well, how-
huge. It's like a 7-8 inch cake.
How
So
did this all turn into the scam of the century? One of your greatest grifts, one of
All
your
right.
greatest heists of all time, Phil.
So,
How did
all
we
right.
get there?
So here's the deal. All right. Sadly, in the last week, as we just talked about, things have kind of been going wrong. My internet's been out, and I had, days off and shit that I wasn't planning. So I'm actually behind on the pace that I was expecting to hit goals. I thought by the end of this week, we'd be at like 90 goals hit. And next week, I thought we would hit 100 and we'd do the marathon next week. Okay. So Rare Tricks sent me this link. He ordered the cake, and the link says, click here to schedule your delivery. All right. So I looked at all the stats. This thing's legit. They're actually going to send it in dry ice because it's real cake. You can't have it go bad because you have to keep it refrigerated. So it says you can keep it in your refrigerator for 3 to 5 days. It depends on, I guess, how long it takes to get to you. And then you could put it in your freezer and you could freeze it for like 6 months, and then you take it out, then you eat it. Well, the thing is,
Sugar Rush
I'm
Netflix,
not
I have
kidding.
not.
I know it sounds stupid. My wife and I just went to
Is it another baking
Costco
show?
last week, and our freezer is full, like to the top. We stocked up the whole house. We got meat, we got everything there. There's no room in our freezer for anything right now. So I scheduled it to be delivered. What are you shaking your head about? I scheduled
love
it.
you. Keep going. I love you. Go ahead.
I scheduled it to be delivered in the middle of next week. I figured if it comes on like Wednesday, that'll give us some leeway, maybe like 3 to 5 days to hit the goal. Then we could do the marathon. I could refrigerate it if we need to for 3 to 5 days, right? And it'll be perfect. But now what's happened is we're behind on our goals. We're only at 86. We're 14 goals away. Now, we can't let the cake go bad. We have to eat that cake during the marathon. So we got to get contributions coming in so we can hit these goals and we could do the marathon next week, and that rum cake will be fresh. There's nothing worse than soggy old-ass rum cake, okay? It's disgusting.
So,
Unacceptable.
Okay, so how many days do we have left? How many goals can we miss? at this point.
Jeez. I mean, well, the thing is with my system, and this is what I like, the genius of my system, is that you don't have to hit only 1 goal a stream. You can hit 2 goals a stream. You can
That's
hit
right,
3 goals in one
They
stream.
could hit 5 goals in one stream to get the.
But not during the
cake
Smart Guys.
filled.
Smart
That's
Guys doesn't
right.
count towards the goal.
So, you know, like, for example, tomorrow, I'm doing 2 gameplay streams.
Yeah,
We
PvP
could hit
has to carry this
1
show
goal on
so
the
fucking
first stream,
hard.
2 goals on the late stream, and then we add 3. And then we're almost
Are
right
you
there back to
telling
where we
me
were supposed to
these
be.
Cheap fucks are holding out, and the special cake might perish outside of the freezer
That's right.
unless they hit enough goals.
Do you not want to
This-
see me
this
eat
is-
authentic
this
cake?
is-
Like, this is like legendary.
Diabolic. This is diabolic.
Yeah, so legendary, DSP, I'm
Like,
sure.
can we see the freezer? Can we get?
That's
the
just it, though.
freezer
Maybe
checked
eventually. Not right
If
now.
you got a
Maybe-
if you got
maybe next week
$1,000
I'll
in the
pick
stream, it
the
would not
stuffed
count anywhere
freezer
towards the
for you.
goal.
Next week, if we
$1,000
hit
would
the
not
goal
count towards the
tonight,
goal.
We're gonna have to hit the goal here. Phil will give us the freezer check. Now, I gotta ask: is there any way you could remove something from the freezer to put the cake in? Is that?
Well, wait a minute. That's counterproductive.
How about, I don't know, you eat something from the freezer. Instead of ordering more DoorDash, eat something from the freezer. Ooh, scary.
If you remove that from the freezer, then you have to eat that right away. And I don't want to have the food I just bought at Costco.
Oh, DS
spoiled.
Parody,
It's
that's
supposed to be
getting
like
pinned.
2 months of food that I have to
That
ration.
was a great message.
I'm not going to go to Costco every week. It's a big trip. And you may not know this. Costco and the...
It's going to Costco, Phil.
No, hold on. Hold on. I have another story. In the United States, Costco is
Very much
about
a
to go on
story.
strike. The workers are about to go on strike for higher wages. And if they go on strike, can you imagine how difficult it will be to shop at Costco?
Are you fucking kidding me, Phil? This is the next level shit from Phil that makes him an icon. He goes the extra mile to come up with any fucking reason. Like, it's a big trip to Costco, folks. There's no way. There's just no way that Phil could remove the shit for. Okay.
I am not going to break the picket line to ship at Costco because we didn't hit the goals right away. All right, I'm not going to do
Okay,
it. So we got to hit
comrade.
these goals.
Comrade Phil showing solidarity with the working man. This is DS socialism or whatever. I don't know what to say. Okay, what is actually in the freezer that's taking up all this space? Do you have like a deep freezer, Phil, or is it just?
It's like
a-
one of those really
should get a
deep
deep
drawer
freezer.
freezers. Yeah, there's a lot in there. You know, there's different kinds of meat. There's pasta dishes. There's snacks. There's I'm
So there's frozen lasagna. The real Italian has frozen lasagna in his freezer. So do I, but I don't consider myself a real Italian, so I don't care.
I'm just trying to think
what
off the
sort
top
of
of my-
snacks are in
Cat's
there?
head
Is
in
it
the
like
freezer.
Ice cream sandwiches? Is it?
Oh no, more healthy snacks. Like when we go to Costco, we try to stock up on the stuff that's better for you. So they have like bowls of ramen, but it's not salty as instant ramen. It's like actually frozen. It's a broth with healthy chicken, vegetables and stuff, and you toss it in your microwave with some water. It's like delicious. But the thing is, it's like
healthy
6 bowls of
frozen
this
ramen.
shit. It's like big, it fills up your fridge or your freezer. So
And there's there's no way to set any of that aside. So we have a set date.
Yes.
When do we have to hit the cake goal by, or the
But
cake?
Paul
will
is-
perish?
Paul doesn't
You
want him
basically
either,
put a gun
so-
to this cake's head.
He's gonna be without a
And
home,
you're telling
guys.
The audience
DSP's
they need to
without a
either
home.
Pay up, or the cake will perish. That
Yes.
your own fan donated.
this is very true. Yes. So
This is like this is like a top 5 Phil scheme. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even buy the cake himself. A fan bought the fucking cake, and now he's holding it fucking hostage. Okay, I actually had, so this is similar in this same vein. I guess we're gonna move on from the cake, because what else
Okay.
can you really say?
we do have contributions
Talk
coming
about
in. We will
the
shout them out.
fucking
I guess
wrestling
we'll
you're
get
supposed to be
the
talking
grill
about.
segment.
Yeah, we're getting through Grill Phil. I have still some
Zero
more
sugar,
points
that's
to
how you
go
do it.
over.
Hold on.
So this is in the same vein, okay? This is a submission from a fan.
Okay. Oh, a
He
fan, of
says-
course, a fan. Yes.
He
Yeah.
says, why is it a reward for the audience to watch you eat?
Okay.
That's his question. Why is it a reward for the audience to watch you eat? And then he has a follow-up question.
Oh, so answer first. Okay. Well,
Okay,
first
yeah.
off, why wouldn't it be? I mean, I mean, come on. You're-
This is insane.
Why wouldn't it be a reward to see me eat something? I mean, people always are asking me, Phil, all you do is you stream from that room. You just play games and you talk. Do something different. Well, I'm doing something different. I'm stuffing my face.
Yeah,
That's
you're
something
eating on
different.
stream.
I'm reviewing food.
Congratulations.
You want me to do different things? I do the different things, and then you complain about it, right?
Doesn't it seem like more of a reward for you?
Well,
than
here's
a
the thing.
reward for the audience?
Here's the thing. You have to put it into perspective, okay? I'll give you a
I
really
get
good
to stuff my face,
perspective.
guys.
So
Isn't
way
that
back
great?
when, I actually used to do giveaways all the time, okay? When the PlayStation 4 came out,
I already got my taxes
I
done.
actually bought
Already
an
accepted
extra
by the IRS,
PS4,
so I can't
and
wait.
I gave it to one randomly selected viewer,
That
and they
doesn't
got it.
sound like you.
But well, I
Giving
know,
things
right?
away- I know.
Here's the thing. So I give it to him. That was one person who was happy, and they were a fan for like maybe a year or two, and I never heard from him again. They just disappeared, right? And everyone else is like, well, how did that help us? Well, it didn't. It didn't give you anything. Only one person got that reward. When you do giveaways like that, you're only rewarding one person. If I'm making content in conjunction with us hitting a goal, that means everyone gets to partake in the reward. Everyone gets
But
to
it's
see
you
it. Everyone
eating.
gets to talk about it and
Of
laugh
course,
at
empty game
it,
cases,
make
yes.
fun of how bad
The
I look
legend,
when I eat,
wait
the
for
comments
it,
that I make,
dairy,
and the sounds, the
empty game
smacking of my
cases.
lips, and all of the disgusting things that people make fun of me for, right? So it's a reward for everyone instead of just one person. Now, in addition to that, there is an entire ecosystem of YouTube content based around people eating. It exists. It's popular. People have entire channels. What is that guy? The Review of the Week? That
Yes,
guy makes...
Review Bro.
Well, remember, you inspired Review Bro.
That's correct. I was doing DSP Tries It way before him.
That's
Beyond,
right.
and quite honestly, I think I actually had some better production values than him too.
No, you
And,
He
didn't.
was
you know-
using the camcorder, Phil, the same camcorder that you would use back in the day, right?
That's right. And now once have I seen him dress up like Batman or something for the show like I have done in the past. You know what I mean? So
Righteous.
if there's
You can never forget property
entire
tax.
ecosystem of popular content based around people eating,
Unfortunately.
why can't I do it? Especially when I had a whole show in the past that was successful of me doing it, and I stopped doing it because it stopped being profitable. And then people said,
So
"Will
it
you
wasn't
bring it back?" And I
successful.
said, "Well, I don't know. It's just not profitable. I don't think I want to do it." But now, since we're hitting
So
so
then it
much
wasn't
support, and I'm
successful.
grateful for us. You know what? As a favor to the viewers, I will bring back the show out of retirement. It's a favor to you. You've been asking for it for years and years, and I retired it. So you know what? Let's bring it back because I care. I care about what my viewers.
Yes.
So
you
I
care,
give them what
and
they want.
It's a reward for the viewer. Honestly, I thought that question was out of pocket, to be honest with you. I'm like, yeah, it's
No,
a
it wasn't.
reward. But the follow-up is, if
Okay.
it is a reward, why must they also donate during the reward?
Oh, they
'Cause I
actually
got
don't. I actually don't
bills.
ask for
got
contributions when I film
bills.
that. That's
Yes,
actually
you do.
false. Some people do,
Oh.
but I don't actually. That's it's you. What I do is I'll end my stream and then I'll say, okay, this is the DSP Tries It segment, and we just do it. And I actually don't ask for contributions or anything during it. Some
Yes,
people
you do.
still are generous, but I never push for anything.
You
during
100% still ask for money.
Absolutely
After
not.
absolutely
Always.
fucking crushed, felt it, Phil. You fucking nailed it, bro. Okay. All right. So now
Wow.
we're gonna go back to current events.
Ah.
So yesterday,
Again, it's supposed to be a wrestling show.
how did you feel about the fake Iron Chef Sakai member bomb, Phil? What were you thinking in that moment when you realized it was fake, bro?
Well, actually, the person had no guts. They announced that it was fake when I was out of the room. You know, they didn't even bother to do it in
Oh.
front of me. I was on a 5-minute break to see my wife. She'd come home from work, and I come back, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Phil, just so you know, it was fake. The guy's talking shit in chat." And I'm like,
He went, holy shit, I got a fuck ton of money. I got to tell Cat, we're going to be able to eat good next week. I got all this money coming in. We're going to be real good. Oh, no, it's all fake. Womp womp.
am I really
How-
shocked? You know, at this point, these idiots have done it so many times, and YouTube still hasn't closed this really ridiculously stupid practice. I don't know why, because they're losing tons of money on it. But, you know.
How are they losing money on it? They're not losing money. You are, DSP. YouTube gets a cut no matter what. It might be a smaller cut, but they're still getting that cut. They have lost nothing.
No. Was it crushing or anything? No. I mean, I already wasn't feeling good. I was under the weather, and it's like, this is just another stupid fucking thing. I don't care. So I just rolled back the leaderboard and continued on my merry way at that point.
The
I don't
question
really
is,
care.
were you felted? People want to ask, were you felted by that? Or
Well-
did you win? Because there was a debate as to whether you were felted or if you won through this.
I would say temporarily, yes, admittedly. It's a temporary felting because you feel, ah, shit, you thought you did good. You thought, I thought I was up 2-3 goals, and that's what we were looking for the week. And then you got to roll it back. You're like, that kind of sucks. But then you just continue on. You know, it rolls off my back like water off a duck at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal. It's happened a million times.
Like water off his hair.
Times more. I didn't freak out about it or anything. Hair. And then we ended up hitting the goal anyway. So does it really matter? No. You know, so no big deal.
So, well, no, I heard that you hit the goal because of the sub bomb. Because
That's right.
It backfired and the trolls actually sent you like $40.
And then they tried to cope after it, and they're trying to make up excuses and lie. And by doing that, they're actually publicly showing how to commit.
Bullshit. 50 subs in Argentinian dollars is $1.90. He gets $1. Actually, no, he didn't even get $1.90. He gets a cut of $1.90. He gets a cut of $1.90. Congratulations, DSP. You sure felted all those trolls by getting a cut of $1.90 for 50 Argentinian subs or memberships, whatever.
Admit fraud.
Yeah, it was not 40.
Get them banned from YouTube, which is interesting.
So I have the said excuse/lie.
It is not fraud. Are they actually in Argentina? Who knows? But their VPN says that they're in Argentina, so they're in Argentina. And they're giving money. Giving money to someone is not fraud. If they were using counterfeit dollar bills, that would be fraud. But they're giving real money. It's Argentinian money, but they're giving real money.
That I've sent in, where they say you did the math wrong. Can we pull this up and can we debunk these lies?
Oh God, I'll spend a few minutes on it, but these people are so ridiculous. Okay. I can't imagine what they said.
I just want to know the truth about how much the detractors wasted sending you this money, man.
Yeah, let's see.
It's a strange way to own somebody sending them money.
Let's see. I'm trying to see what this says. If I can zoom it in here.
Well, it says here.
Oh God, can you read it? It's so small on my screen.
DSP, wear your glasses. Or bring it up on your laptop. Your laptop's right next to you. Bring it up on your laptop instead of bringing it on the monitor that's literally across the hall from you. He has the stupidest fucking setup ever.
Did your math wrong.
They've still not gotten into wrestling.
Google's YouTube support page says a $3.99
although we are a little bit behind, so let's try to
comes out to 40 Argentinian real. 40 Argentinian real is 3.8 cents USD, not 38 cents. So you made about $4 not $40. Did you just misread it, or?
First of all, I don't know what the hell they're talking about, that they think that there's this kind of information on the Google support page. It doesn't exist. Google support is not going to tell you that because...
Yes, they are. Why would they not tell you this? It's already been posted all over Twitter. He's a fucking idiot.
They don't want people to abuse VPNs. So I don't know where they think that they're pulling that. They're pulling it out of their ass, basically, and acting like it's official when it's definitely not. Here's what I did. Let me get you back on the screen. I'll explain what I did to figure it out. Because here's the thing. They've been doing this to me now for over a year. It's been like maybe a year and 2 months or something like that. And, you know, at first it really hurt me bad, but after a while, it's, you know, you get used to it. It's just going to be part of their bullshit, right? You just got to get used to the nonsense. So I went and I searched for how much does it cost to get a YouTube premium subscription on YouTube in the US, and how much does it cost in Argentina right now? Okay.
Right.
In the U.S., on average, it's different, I think, but I think the average is like $13.99 a month.
You get to sit in a recliner? Lucky bastard.
Something like that, okay? To get that same exact membership in Argentina, it costs $1.05. All right, so I did the math there, and if you do the math, basically it means for every dollar American, they only charge someone in Argentina 7.5 cents. I mean, just think about how effing crazy that is, right? You go to Argentina, I guess you can buy whatever you want. You'll be rich if you buy everything digitally. So using that ratio, my memberships cost $4. So if you're buying one of my memberships with Argentinian dollars, it's 7.5 cents times 4, which would roughly be like 30 cents a membership. This person gifted 145 memberships. So 145 times the 30, and then you got to remember, YouTube keeps 1/4. You never know exactly what it's going to be, but it's definitely over
30%. Holy fuck, DSP, they keep 30%. Have you been doing this for so long and you don't know that they keep 30%? Whether it's super chat, membership, whatever, super thanks, super sticker. Google keeps 30%, you get 70%. That's why he prefers tips over super chats, because super chats take out 30%. A tip takes out like 5%. The fuck, dude? This is easily to be looked up and all that. Like, why are you lying about something that's so easily proven?
$20, and by the end of the stream, I had hit $130 of legit support. So I hit the goal just based on what this person had gifted. Now, I don't care what these idiots say, oh, I can give 50 for $1 or whatever. Who gives a shit? I don't even know what you're talking about. And even if you're trying to prove that, you're committing, you're self-felting yourself. You're actually committing fraud publicly because you cannot use a VPN to buy something on YouTube. That's a violation of the terms of service. And if any creator, did it on camera, they literally violated YouTube's terms of service and can have their account completely fucking canceled. So
now, hold on, Phil. You made a major mistake. I have to call it out. It's bullshit.
All right.
You said self-felt yourself. Now that's like redundant. It's not necessary. It's just self-felt.
Self-felt.
Okay. They just have self-felted. You don't have to add themselves or yourself to the end of self-felt.
Got it.
Self-felt is all that's necessary. But you're saying there's no way at all you could have
misread
the conversion.
Duty's the new evil AJ, the new Tevin. Just anything happens to him. If he was to go outside and it was a little cloudy out, that the weather app said it was supposed to be sunny today, but now it's cloudy. It's Duty's fault. Guys, they're having a sale on eggs, and since they've been so expensive lately, I went there to go get the sale on eggs, and they were all sold out. It must be Duty's fault. So yeah, Duty is just the new boogeyman.
Chart and put the decimal place in the wrong spot. There's no way you could have made this error, Phil.
No, again, the thing is, no matter what I do, you notice that they then come out of the woodwork to try to like counter it, no matter what. Like
yeah,
I could have,
no matter what, Phil.
I could have said it was $5. They would have said no, it was $2.50. You know, just to do it. And the point is, they gave me money. It definitely was a significant amount. If this guy was smart, he would have just done a 50 bomb. That would have been like nothing, negligible, right? But no, this guy he had to give, oh, I want Phil to really feel like he's getting so much. So I'm going to give 50, then another 50, then another 30, then another 10. And it adds up, and the guy's a moron.
Eventually it added up.
Dude is holding all the eggs. How dare he?
The self-felt of the week, everybody. The idiot detractor. Let's move on.
Yeah,
okay.
Why would he donate
Yesterday,
Argentinian? Like, the fuck? It makes no sense.
People are asking, why not just take a sick day? Like, when I was hungover, it was like low energy or whatever. I wouldn't have been good, so I just said, fuck it, we'll reschedule. Why not just take a sick day, Phil?
There's a couple reasons. I mean, number one, let's be honest, my job isn't the hardest in the world. And even if I'm feeling under the weather, I typically
Hold on! Edelweiss has dropped $100! Let's go!
Thank you, Edelweiss.
Wait a minute, Phil.
Remember, nothing that happens on this show counts towards the goal. $10,000 could fall from the sky in a tip. None of it would count towards the goals. Womp womp.
Admitting that playing video games isn't a difficult job?
He does not understand anything. What are you talking about?
But it's not physically challenging.
He does not understand anything,
weather, you can still do it.
surprise.
You know, that's one of the big advantages. As long as I can talk, I can still broadcast, I can still do my job. So, you know, even though I was losing my voice, I was still able to do the work. And to be honest, if the week before I didn't have the extra day lost because my internet was out, which was really messed up, and then on top of that, I had an extra day the week before to spend with my wife, and that had been pre-planned, that, you know, then I probably would have taken the day off. Well, you know, it's not a huge deal to miss a day or two here, but I'd already missed 2 days the week before. And it's like, you know, I'm going to tough through it. You know, it's not a big deal. I ended up sleeping in a little bit, so I skipped my podcast. So that's what I said.
Yeah, begging equals work.
I still played a game for a couple hours. We hit a goal. You know,
Brooks,
it all works
how's
out.
It going?
It's not a huge deal. If I couldn't have talked, I would have definitely.
Yeah, people play video games to relax. Even if it's something difficult like Dark Souls and I'm getting pissed off at those stupid fucking rats, it's still way less work and still way more relaxing than actually going to fucking work. Let's see, do I want to go to work or do I want to stay home and deal with those fucking rats giving me poison damage? Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with those stupid fucking rats giving me poison damage on Dark Souls over going to work.
Oh, when I tuned in, Phil,
he does in fact have a financial degree. We've all seen it. He's shown it before on his
streams. You were in the midst of double pneumonia or something like that. It was like, holy fuck, man. Were you okay?
I have weird allergies, and to this day,
fart
I'm still not
coin,
exactly
nice.
sure what always triggers them.
So
like,
I got a bonk
allergy,
coin,
I have a cat fur allergy,
Dogecoin.
I
just bought another one. I put like $10 into it, so I got like 500
hay,
coins.
like certain kinds of hay
for
too,
$10.
like triggers me, like sneezing like crazy out of control. And I was here on stream on Tuesday. I was perfectly fine, and all.
If you guys want a good coin invest in, Doge is probably going to be a good one. But I like bonk because, like, all right, you put $100 in. Oh, hey, it's a couple million coins. You know what 1% of 2 million is? $20,000. If it goes up by 1 penny, it's $20,000 I just made. You know what? And if it doesn't go up, all right, whatever. It was $100. I have spent way more on way less.
of a sudden I sneeze and my
There probably is a
throat
coin.
swells up, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what triggered my nose? I'm in here in an office. I mean, yeah, the window's open, but I mean, what? No giant chunk of shit flew in my window. I don't know what caused it.
You were on the verge of death, Phil. Like, you were on death's door, and you still showed up to stream, and then these bastards are fucking with you. But it's like, what a miraculous recovery, sir.
Yeah, it was
How
weird.
you were, like,
Miraculous
barely
my
able to
ass.
speak, lost your voice, raspy, croaky, coughing, sneezing, wheezing, and now today you're totally fine.
That's right.
You're 100% recovered, sire.
So it was the weirdest thing. So I had that stream. I was actually playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and I could barely talk. And I said to everyone, I'm going to be here tonight to play Dino Crisis, dinner time. And I went downstairs, and my wife had made pasta.
It was, he was hungover. He was dealing with a hangover. And so once he actually got some real food in his system and some water in his system, yeah, he felt better. Hangovers are like 99% being dehydrated. Before you go to bed after a night of drinking, chug Powerade or Gatorade, whichever one is your choice. Then when you wake up, chug another. Your hangover will be 99% gone.
Now, I'm Italian, and I love pasta. I mean, it's just no secret here.
Yeah, me too, Phil.
She made this delicious fettuccine with a red sauce with some chicken meatballs, because I got to stay away from the red meat. I'm getting older now. I got to eat chicken now, all right? So I had chicken meatballs with it, and I'm eating. I'm like, this tastes amazing. And I could definitely tell, like, my body wanted nutrients. You know, when you eat, all of a sudden you get real hungry. Like, I just can't stop.
Yeah.
Normally, I wouldn't even finish the whole plate of pasta. I wolfed this plate of pasta down. Like, it was just like,
You're
zoom,
saying it
sucked
was
in.
the plate of pasta and its rich nutrients that restored your vitality. Sire.
Wow.
Everyone has
He's an
something,
idiot.
right? Popeye has his can of spinach that he crushes and eats the spinach. That pasta reinvigorated me. It was like I was a new me.
Sire, was the sickness a fib, sire? Were you fibbing? Were you not actually sick, sire?
Let me put it this
He
way. I
was
don't think I
hungover,
was
just
sick.
like
I think I
PPP
actually do think it
was.
was some kind of a really bad allergic reaction to something, and it wore out after like a day, and then it wasn't a big deal anymore. I did take a pill, and at first it did nothing, and then all of a sudden, maybe that's what happened. Maybe it kicked in after like half the day, and then I felt better. And today I woke up and I had nothing. So I wish I knew what triggered it, because I hate it. This happens sometimes.
Jason.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know how to.
I say it was
treat
the
or
money
cure it,
buff,
'cause I don't know
dude.
what's causing it. It's every once in a while I get a bad day.
I say if it wasn't a hangover and it was actually allergies, you take a Benadryl. Then it goes away in about an hour or two. If it was an actual illness, then you know what you do? You rest and you chug Powerade or Gatorade. It's amazing how much Powerade and Gatorade will fix just about anything. Because a lot of the times, you're going to be dehydrated. So you need to do something like that so you're not dehydrated anymore. Or like when like COVID was first happening, I was like, oh wow, why did this person die? It's like, well, they had no nutrients. They were dehydrated. And they were sweating. No, they had 101-degree fever, but their throat hurt so much they refused to drink anything, and so they got dehydrated. And then they died. Water, and of course Powerade, Gatorade, stuff like that, will fix not everything, obviously, but help with a lot. Kind of like the whole ginger ale thing. It's like, oh, I drank a ginger ale when I was sick, now I felt better. It's like, yeah, probably because you got more liquid in you than you normally get. You're normally like, oh, all right, I'm going to drink a little bit of water. Drink a little bit of water. Versus, I'm going to drink this entire 12-ounce can of ginger ale in about 10 seconds. Wow, my body just got more liquid in it than it normally does. Now I feel better. Same thing with those cleanses. Oh, I went on this juice cleanse and I felt so much better. How much juice do you normally drink? I don't normally drink juice. How much water do you normally drink? I'm drinking mimosas and hardcore liquor. And then when I want something lighter, I'd go with wine. So you don't normally drink water or juice. You're 100% booze or coffee. Yeah. So you went on a cleanse and you finally drank something other than booze or coffee for the first time in months and you felt better. Yeah. Gee, I wonder, what could it be? You finally drank something besides booze or coffee for the first time in months and you suddenly felt better. I wonder why that is. Wonder why drinking something besides booze or coffee finally made you feel better. Can't imagine what it could be. Oh wait, I can totally 100% imagine what it is. Because you finally drank something besides booze or coffee for the first time in your life. So all those cleanses are bullshit. Don't fall for them. Don't waste the money on it. No one says, it worked for me. It didn't work for them. They just drank something besides booze or coffee for the first time in their life.
They like that.
All right. Now we have the final question submitted by... Okay, so look. This is what I'm confused.
Robust and riveting RPGs. Gotta get on that, dude.
All right. I'm ready.
Let's get the flames going.
Oh, okay.
For this edition of Grill Phil. So this is a question that comes from the Kiwi Farms, Phil.
Oh, the Kiwi Farms, the most reliable people on the planet.
They've been really pestering me, and so they were a bunch of clips, and they're saying, so it turns out the bank leaks aren't even your transactions, right?
Okay, yes.
They're not your, are they? No, but I'm confused now. Are they your transactions, or are they not your transactions?
I've said it a
Seattle
million times,
air.
it's not. I can't wait to hear what they have to say about it now. I really can't. So let's go ahead. What did they say about them today?
No,
I can't.
okay, no. This is, what they're saying is that they're not actually your transactions. That you said that they're not your transactions. And then the question is, if they're not your transactions, why did you report it to the bank?
Why did I report?
Ooh, that's a very good question. They didn't hack my bank, guys. It's not my bank account. Then why would you get a hold of the bank?
What to the bank?
The bank leaks. Didn't you call the bank and ask? You never reported anything to the bank or to the police?
Yes, he did.
I
So
never.
he said.
No. Here, I already told this full story. I'll tell it again. I guess you didn't hear the full story.
No,
But-
I'm confused because I don't know if the leaks are real
No,
or if they're fraudulent.
The leaks are
Or
bullshit.
Time to retcon.
Here's what happened.
And
okay?
remember, this is a WWE stream. Not a pasta stream, not an underwear stream, WWE.
Someone socially engineered one of my accounts. I can't tell you what account it is because there may be some stuff going on with it. Let's just put it that way, okay? I had an account. Someone socially engineered it. The moron who worked for the company thought it was me, reset the account, and gave someone access to one of my accounts. It wasn't my bank account, okay? But this account was
one
linked.
of your. It was one of your accounts, so it was like your credit card statement, or
I'm not going to say what it was, but yeah, something like that, okay?
right.
They got access to that. That account had access to my personal banking information. Now, did they have the numbers? No, but had access to take money out of my bank account. Okay.
No, they didn't.
Because if it wasn't your account, why would you care or even be addressing it, right? So it was
right.
one.
Yeah,
it was one of your accounts.
The things that we're talking about, like the bank leaks, had nothing to do with me. Like that, I don't know where they got that shit from or if they made it up or whatever. I had something else completely unrelated with my bank happen, and they put two and two together and say, "Oh, well, you see, because something happened with
Total
this bank, that
coincidence,
was me. All
guys.
these
Total
leaks are authentic."
coincidence, I'm
But they're
sure.
not. But this person was actually using a socially engineered account to steal money out of my account and make false payments to other companies that didn't need to be paid anything.
Now, let's say you know you have trolls fucking with you. And let's say you spend a lot of money all the time and you're constantly... Because remember, at the time, he was always crying, "Guys, I went over. Guys, I'm overdrafted. Guys, because of that last chargeback, I'm overdrafted. Guys, help." So he was constantly looking at his bank account. How did somebody take money out of your account you didn't notice for months? How did you not notice until the bank leaks happened, and then you finally decided to look at your bank account and go, "Oh, hey, there's a bunch of money missing." Because that's what he said. He said that it wasn't his account, but then mentioning that his bank account got hacked made him look at his account and realize that there was money missing. How are you constantly getting overdrafted and constantly looking at your bank account and then not notice until Kiwi Farms leaks your bank account? I wonder.
So one day I'm getting a ping on my phone. It's like, "You're overdrawn." What? How the hell am I overdrawn? And I look, they're actually sending thousands of dollars of payments that I don't owe, and they're emptying my bank account out. I'm like, this is fucked. So what happens is when you call your
So
bank,
they hacked you and paid your bills. How dare they pay his bills?
they're like, they don't want to mess around at all. They're like, "We're just going to immediately shut everything down. You're frozen. We're going to give you a new account. We don't know what kind of access." And I had to do this with all my finance shit. Like I had to have all my stuff redone from the ground up. I had payment arrangements with places like the IRS set up. I had to contact the IRS and say, "Please believe me, I'm not trying to skimp on my payments. They fucked my account and I don't have any money right now." You know, it was a nightmare. And it took me months and months to clean this up. It cost me a lot of money because some companies are very nice about it and they'll be like, "We
Well, what?
understand
How's
it's
it
identity
going?"
theft or whatever. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt." Other companies are like, "Yeah, fuck you. Late fee, back fee, fuck you over." So they really screwed me.
Clarify once and for all: was there a police report or no?
No, I didn't file a formal police report for it. No, I didn't.
And then you didn't directly deal with the bank, or you did?
Oh, I did
basically-
directly deal with the bank for sure. Like I said, they handled it.
But
They did an investigation and all
This
that.
is how I understand it within the kingdom of Phil.
Hmm.
It's sort of like Oceania in 1984, where, for the purposes of calling out the detractors as evil pieces of shit, the bank leaks are real because they're bastards that hacked your account. But for the purposes of denying the transactions, because we don't want to, say that they're real, we say that it wasn't your account and it was never hacked. So simultaneously, both of these concepts are true
And not at the same
kingdom
time.
of Phil, but not necessarily at the same time. And that's how we reconcile what might be a supposed contradiction on this, is whatever actually suits the king's narrative at any given time is the truth and is fucking based. And I honestly see no reason to ever question Phil about this ever again. We need to just accept the doublethink that the king is always right. It's Schrodinger's bank leaks. It serves whatever narrative we need it to do. So anyway, guys, that's it for Grill Phil.
Yes.
Phil is an awesome fucking sport. A legend. Honestly, you fucking blew these guys out. All of their objections this week, Phil, all of the false narratives that they fucking came out with, Phil, you've debunked them all. You've exposed them all as fucking seething losers living in their mother's fucking basement, mouth-drooling fucking idiots. Phil fucking rules. Phil knows best. Much like Hulk Hogan, Phil is the icon, the legend, the king. It doesn't matter what lies people come up with or the claim they expose the truth. Hogan and Phil are fucking based, and we love them. That was great. Awesome job. By
PPP put it best of.
Yeah, we got
it
lot,
was his bank account when it
here.
comes to bitching at the detractors, but it's not his account when it comes to the expenses made.
So on the YouTube side, we had both Kick and YouTube side. So on the YouTube side, well, I just want to say Gabriel had popped his re-upping of his, that doesn't count towards the stream, but thank you, Gabriel, for being an ongoing supporter. We had Dick Jones, who did 5 gifted memberships against the channel, so thank you, Dick, for that. That's our first memberships of the night. And then we had Edelweiss, like you saw there, who did that $100 super chat.
Huge support. Let's
huge
fucking go. Now, Edelweiss, let's drop it again. Let's drop it again. Let's get another red going, bro. We need you, buddy, to pull through tonight. Let's hit the goal. Let's get some support. Come on. We've got a huge wrestling show still.
You can't hit the goal, though. Smart guys does not count towards the goal.
Go Saturday night main event, WWE Raw review, Royal Rumble predictions, and preview, all still to come following our Grill Phil right off the top of the show. You won't find this type of entertainment anywhere else. There is only one Philip Burnell. There is only one Dark Side Phil.
Damn
Thank
straight.
God. I may look like I'm the size of 2 people, but there is only one PPP.
Okay, we have a bunch of subs. We had Sean Slaughter gifted a single sub. We have Dank Sneed Pimp gifted a single sub. We had Dr. Herbert West gifted 5 subs to the channel tonight.
5 subs.
Thank you,
That's
Dr.
more
Herbert West.
like it.
Oh, PPP admitted that, yeah, he got drunk and was hungover. That's why he didn't do the one show. How are you going to give him shit? That's one of the issues that DSP's had for years. Is that, like, no, I'm not fat, I'm almost skinny. And then you see his moves. When you ask him to do push-ups, he can barely do 1. PPP, Wings, Buggy. How are you going to call him fat? They'll take a show like, yeah, look at it. Look at all these fat rolls. Jiggle, 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 yeah. It's like, yeah, they're fat. It's like, and they admit to it, and they'll make jokes about it. So you can't make fun of them for being fat. Well, DSP, guy, I'm not fat, I'm almost skinny. No, we make fun of you being fat, because you deny it. PPP, yeah, I was so fucking drunk and hungover that I just couldn't do the show, so I had to delay. DSP, I wasn't drunk and hungover from missing 3 goals in a row. I was sick, I sneezed, and it made my throat closed up. Then I ate some pasta, now I'm healthy again. That's why we make fun of you for being a drunken asshole who's too hungover to do his own show, which is playing video games.
We had Dank Sneed Pimp gifted a second sub, so he's up to 2. And we had Pixelante gifted 1. So that's a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 subs so far tonight. Let's get that added.
Oh my God, Dank Sneed Pimp out of 0. Let's double this up right now. Let's get to at least 20 subs on the Kick side before Phil reads out the rest of the support. Honestly, you guys on Kick are on thin fucking ice, in my opinion. Only 9 subs for Grill Phil.
I say just don't feed the trolls. If someone calls you fat, be like, yeah, I am fat, and then make a joke about it. You take away all their power.
You're on watch, Kick.
Wow, and then we have
side right now.
We have Gay Man who just did a $5 super chat. I love you, Phil. Well, thank you to Gay Man for the $5 super chat.
Let's pull down those shorts and let's see a little bit more of the package, the DS package there.
Do we have any tips? Actually, like, look, there's 1 tip. We have 1 tip tonight.
Only 1 tip, guys.
$4.20 from.
1 tip?
Just listen to this. From an orangutan's pussy. Show us your broken toilet, Phil. Wow, there you go. Yes, very
what a
talented.
name.
You guys aren't going to get to see shit with donations and support like this. Here we are offering to show you guys Phil's freezer. Like the mythical freezer of Phil. Like, imagine this is where Phil gets his meals most nights.
That's right.
You could see inside. You could see it
No,
all.
it's not.
MTV
He
crib,
gets more
the
DoorDash
part
than anything
everyone
else.
looks forward to seeing the fridge or the freezer. But it's Phil's. Who knows what wonders might be inside?
Dark small package,
and
terrible.
Yet, no
But
support.
true.
You motherfuckers aren't worthy to fucking lick his broken toilet. You scum. Absolutely unbelievable.
Someone had said there was another one. Oh, Suffa Horse gifted 5 subs on Kick.
Right. Suffa Horse has gifted 5 subs. He says the Grill Phil had me laughing my ass off. That's legendary from you, Suffa Horse. You're a big supporter of the casino. It's good to see you supporting the Smark Guys show.
And that's why it moved to night streams. You're going to get more of the PPP Kino Casino guys showing up. The fun Phil.
But you know, we're gonna need more.
He's not whacked
more.
it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone was
admit
saying
it.
there was someone named Never Chris. I don't see. I'm looking at my leaderboard. I don't see anything from Never Chris. Actually, give me a second. Well, this is the problem. When I do the show on Discord, I can't use that computer. I have to look at it from over here. Maybe he did. Hold on. There might be one more I missed, but it's nothing.
Oh, there's
huge or
one
anything.
more thing. Can we get the sock check, Phil?
The sock. Oh, you want to see my socks for
Let's
tonight?
see
Sure.
the sock check, Phil, because Dan
Absolutely.
Steve Pimp has doubled his support to 2 subs.
There you go.
2 subs? What happened? Are you broke, Dan Sneed, or what's going on? Is it like payday is tomorrow and it's like your last little bit of cash? Halen Barrow contributed $5. Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah, weird. I'm not seeing this sub. The sub they're talking about. I looked for it. I don't know. I didn't see it. But all right. So
It's
2
a
more subs from
phantom
Dank Sneak
sub.
Pimp. Let's get that up there. That gets us to
And
216.
yes, we got
so far
actually,
tonight.
that's gonna make
And
it
then
for a
Halen
good
Barrow,
poll.
$5 super chat. Who do you have for the Super Bowl, the Eagles or the Chiefs? I have not seen a single piece of NFL gameplay this year. I have absolutely no clue. I'd be very uneducated.
Phil,
Trying
just
to pick
guess
it.
because I'm putting $2,000 on whatever you say right now. Phil
The
has
Chiefs.
10 luck.
The Chiefs. But
Let's
wait
go!
I would
Chiefs.
put my money on the Chiefs.
There
There's
it
no
is.
way
I
the
gotta put it all on
wrestling
the
let them
Kansas
lose.
City Chiefs. Halen Barrow is a dirty, filthy Eagles fan. The
I put like
lowest of the
$12 on him to
fucking
win.
low.
Wow.
These
'Cause there's no
bums
way they're gonna
booed
let 'em
Santa
lose.
Claus, Phil. They've booed Santa. They've thrown batteries at Santa. They throw snowballs with rocks at
Wow.
opposing fans and players.
Seriously.
Philadelphia is the lowest of the low, and the mayor of Philadelphia can't even spell Eagles. She spelled it wrong. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
no. Wow. We have the most intelligent people in power these days, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you see the
This
$10
style man
tip.
real gifted a sub. Let's go.
We got a $10 tip from One Sick Puppies. His funniest man in the known universe. Can you believe Cody Rhodes is only 39 while CM Punk is 46? Where did the time go?
I know. Where did the time go? Let's hope, though, that Cucky Rhodes loses the title on Saturday and we no longer have It's my story and my dad. Nobody even watched Dusty Rhodes wrestle. Phil
They did. What I'm hoping for, I've been wanting Goldust to come back. Goldust to come back and be like, I was in the business for a decade before you showed up. I was in the business putting my all out there. I had to do this and that. I had to do all these gimmicks and shit. I was used to be the Intercontinental Champion, then I lost it to Hunter S. Helmsley, yada, yada, yada. And then you come in and they put you right to the top. You come in and you get to do your story. Well, it's about time for me to do my story. I don't know if he retired or if he's just doing behind the scenes stuff. But I would just love for Goldust to come out and be, the new rivalry. You can do that for months. That's references 7. What's in the box?
Phil's fucking older than the dirt. And not even he watched fucking Dusty Rhodes.
I say, I love Goldust.
Ass fucking wrestle. But the story.
Damn.
We have to finish the story. Fuck your story, bitch.
Wow.
Fuck your story. Where did it go? It's been a year of waste. It's been a year of garbage. Fucking AJ Styles can have a good match with anybody in fucking Paris, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Cucky Rhodes, Cody Crybabies. We want The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania. We want real stars. We want legends. People see the Dusty Rhodes fucking promo. They never watched any of this. Give me a break. Give me a break, folks. Oh, bro, Harley Race was so good. You never saw Harley Race wrestle. You never did. Stop being a poser. Stop pretending. I went back on the network and I watched. Listen,
All right.
bitch.
All right.
Nobody has time for this. Phil, what do we have?
PPP, I got to call you out on something, all right? People have been giving me shit for months on this one. It's time for a little bit of grill
We're
action
gonna grill
tonight.
PPP.
I'm going to grill you tonight a little bit.
You
all
got
right?
me.
You ready? I'm serious. It's going to be a hot seat question. But Don't worry. I'm not a jerk about it. Okay.
Oh my God, it's over for me.
People have been saying this for months, so I'm just going to bring it up, and I want to hear what you have to say about it. All right.
All right.
Is it true that publicly on your show, at some point, I don't know when, you publicly insulted my wife and how she looks? Is this true?
It's true. It's true.
Okay. And when was this, and what context was this? Because
Well,
I'm not
okay,
aware, and I want to hear
so,
what
The
like,
happened.
context,
Yeah.
guys. There had to be
Here's what
context
happened,
to
though.
it.
So we cover all sorts of lolcows, all sorts of jokers on our show. You are considered one of the greatest lolcows of all time. You are considered a lolcow just like one step below Chris Chan. There's a cult of people who hate you, obsess over your
Chris
every move,
Chan.
chronicle everything you do. So it's like we tried to throw you into the rotation. The thing was, I always found it really fucking boring. I was like, okay, it's the same shit. He asks for money, and sometimes he loses in Street Fighter, but you're picking the clips where he's fucking doing bad, but sometimes he does good, whatever the fuck. So we covered the clip where you introduced Kat, reintroduced Kat, and she had gained a bunch of weight. And so we're like, whoa, buddy, his wife's fucking fat. She's this, she's that. But you got to understand, we do that to everybody.
Mhm.
Everybody that we cover on the show, we shit on ruthlessly. We dog on them. We say this, we say that. My personal opinion would have been, and my personal advice would be, and I think you agree with this, is to keep your personal life as private as possible.
Mhm.
And the problem when you introduce your wife, you should be able to show your wife on stream. It should be able, to show that dynamic. But every single person who's ever showed their wife or girlfriend online in drama communities, lolcow communities, it never goes well. Like even Spoonie back in the day when he introduced Scarlett,
Oh,
it was
no.
a scandal.
Not
People lost
Spoonie
their
and his
shit.
wife.
They called her fat. They called her ugly. All sorts of shit. So it's a long-running tradition that wives and girlfriends in these online spaces get dumped on, get shit on. Is it necessarily right? No, not really. It's kind of nasty and cruel and vindictive.
Guys,
but
don't shit on my wife.
you
Shit on
open yourself
me.
up to it
I enjoy
when
it.
you bring
Snort.
your family members on stream. And so that's the situation, and that's the way it is.
Okay. So, and this was before we had ever even met, right?
And that's the
Before we
bottom line,
talked
because
about
Andy
anything,
Worski
right?
said so.
Like, I don't think I've been on your show or anything because you said this was when you were first
Well,
covering
no,
me.
this is, so the thing is, I haven't said anything nasty about your wife since then because I don't think it's nice. And I know that it actually would bother you, and it would make you upset. And I like you, Phil, and I consider you a pal. And so I don't want to do anything
fucking with
to
him.
Phil that would genuinely hurt him and his relationship with his wife, or negatively hurt the way that he views his wife, because they're married. They live their life together. It's their life. It's really not anybody else's fucking business how Phil chooses to live his life with his wife, or what their eating habits are, or whatever the fuck. But unfortunately, when you do bring them on camera, it opens it up to criticism and mockery and stuff like that. So that's my position on it. And that's basically the way it is. I feel a little bit bad about it.
Okay. Well, I
It's always
appreciate
good
your
to
honesty.
root for a
This is the
team
first time I've heard
and
any
be
of this
excited with
because
other people.
all I hear is stuff secondhand, third hand. You don't know what to believe, right? And so people have been grilling me for weeks saying,
I say it's like going to a concert. It's like you can be at home and listen to the song on YouTube. You can find the live versions of the song. You can do that. But it's just something about going to a concert, being surrounded by people, feeling that energy in the air as the band comes on stage and sings whatever song. Same thing with watching football or soccer or basketball or anything. It's like, being at home you can watch it, but when you're with friends, or you're at a bar, or you're in the stadium watching live, it's just, you get that energy, you get that excitement, you get that feeling in you. Something DSP doesn't do because, he doesn't leave the house.
every week there's a Grill Phil segment. What about that? That's one thing that happened, bring it up. So now let's ask the public, okay? We have hundreds of people here watching here tonight. Should I accept this? Should I say this is a good answer?
343 watching, I
Or
guess it's not too bad.
should I be upset?
I don't know, man. It's honestly, it's up to you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say, man. You talk, the thing is, you talk so much shit as a drama YouTuber or whatever. A lot of the time, you never expect the person to actually hear what you said.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You know what? Someone actually just made a good point. They said nowhere in what you just said did you actually apologize. You actually just kind of explained.
Well, I just justified my behavior. You know what I mean? I justified my behavior.
Well, let me ask you this. Now that you know me as a person, are you sorry that you kind of said that stuff? Or are you standing on your laurels that, no, it's okay to do that because he put his
Oh,
wife
yeah,
on the
starting
internet?
Craig
What's your take on it?
destroyed him,
Well, I
guys.
stand by my statements, but at the same time, I do feel bad about them. So I
Starting
do
Craig
think
didn't
that
make him
it
anywhere
is-
near as much
what
money
you
as
put
PPP
online
has.
is fair game for criticism and mockery. That being said, is it a nasty thing that I said? Absolutely. And I'm sorry, Phil. If that hurt your feelings or your wife's feelings, I feel bad about that. I apologize, Phil, because I love you, brother. And I want you to have a happy life. I don't want you to feel bad about yourself.
Mexican soccer because you
Thank
bet
you.
on
That was
it.
actually very nice that you just said that. And the thing is, you said you would not do it again.
I mean, as long as you do
right?
your
And you
research to
haven't-
find out
you
which
haven't
teams
since
are good,
then,
which teams
since
are
we,
bad,
you
why
know,
not?
had interaction, and now we're friendly. We're doing a show together. You haven't talked like that again. And so, you know, for me, you know, you think, is it the king's verdict? Is it the thumbs up or the thumbs down? Like Gladiator, right? Is
It's
it the
gonna
thumbs
be
up
the thumbs down.
or the thumbs down?
We
It's
had
like-
to bow down to the king. We have to say, King Phil, we're sorry. We're sorry. Forgive us, Phil.
Well, listen,
Forgive me, Phil.
I'm the kind of guy, all right, that I look at everything. I look at the big picture, right? And
Bullshit.
I look at the last 6+ months that we've had interaction. You guys had me on your show. You've sent a lot of your viewers my way. You've
given me
allowed
a lot
me to
of
be
fucking
seen in a
money.
different light that I really haven't been seen in a long time. And quite frankly,
much fucking
even though we're
money.
doing these segments that are grill fill and they're fun to do, right? They're in good feeling. Like, there's nothing really mean-spirited in the stuff that we're doing. I don't feel that. I think it's fun to do. It's silly. I have a good time with it. It's not like you're ever shockingly hitting me with left field questions that are so insulting or anything like that. And I feel that. I feel that level of respect.
This is the real after school special.
There's no
We're
respect
gonna
here.
hug and hold
That's right.
hands.
They're
and
just
kiss.
fucking with him.
Everybody,
Yeah, big picture.
Let's all be
money,
friends.
money.
Bye off. Phil
Money.
got his
I cannot
dick
do high
back
pitch
in.
anymore.
He put me on the hot seat. I'm like, what the fuck do I say? You know, what do you say about that?
Well, hold on. I didn't give you my verdict. And my verdict is you're out of here. I'm banning you from the show right now. You're off the show permanently. He's gone. It's just me.
no.
Smark guy from now on. That's it. No forgiveness.
Suffer, PPP. Suffer.
All
I'm
right.
kicked off the show. Fuck.
I kicked you off the show. This is Lolcow Live now, apparently. So now we have to try to get you back on.
Some more fake scripted drama. Next time, I'll give you some better talking points. No, you will apologize to me and my wife right now.
You have to
It's
get the-
over.
That's right. The I'm sorry tattoo on your face. You have to get
Yeah.
it.
We're gonna do the punishments and the tattoos and the whole fucking nine. Oh no, buddy.
That's pretty bad when
Oh,
even
okay, so we
DSP
managed
can
to
shit
do a
on a show
wrestling
like
that's
Local
not about
Live.
wrestling at
That's
all.
right.
It's amazing stuff. It's amazing stuff. All right.
It's fun, though. It's fun. I really enjoy it. But we should get to the wrestling content, I suppose, here. Let me get my notes open.
Wow, they're gonna finally get to the wrestling on their wrestling podcast.
We're going to start this week, right, with Saturday night's main event, which was this last Saturday night, January 25th. And this was the first time that I had seen a Saturday night's main event in, like, a very, very long time, you know, to be honest. I saw this actually at one of the shows I used to watch with my dad back in like the 1980s and 90s when it was actually on broadcast TV and Hulk Hogan and all of them were wrestling. So
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect going into it, except we kind of knew the matches, the big stakes that there were going to be. But yeah, all right, do you want to start? Because you usually have the play-by-play
Well, so
there.
I don't know. I was going to ask you, Phil, because it's more from your generation. It's more from your era.
Mhm.
And the question is, with the nostalgia of Saturday night's main event, did it work overall for you? And do you think it would appeal to fans from your era who grew up with Saturday night's main event? Do you think it would get them to tune back in?
Yeah, you know, it was really interesting. I had no clue they were going to do that. I thought it was just going to be a regular wrestling show. I didn't know it had a nostalgic vibe or whatever. And so immediately they're showing like
Jesse
clips from the 80s
Ventura.
and 90s, and they're showing the old school marquee and the music. It's actually playing that song "My Obsession," which is a song from the 1980s. I remember it from the GTA Vice City soundtrack, I think. And I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. They actually have all this old school stuff. And immediately, you know, it hits me with sweeping nostalgia from back in the day watching this show with my dad. And I'm like, well, that's really neat that they did that. I don't know how many other people it's really going to appeal to who are still watching the product in 2025 at this point. There's been so many generations of people that have been introduced to wrestling after that I don't know if people even kind of get some of the references. But I overall, I like the presentation of the show. I thought that it wasn't, even though, yeah, some of it can be campy. Like, for example, they're trying to use the old school microphone, and Lillian Garcia is trying to talk into it, and it's not working right. It's like kicking her off when she's trying to talk, and I'm like, could you maybe just put a real
is
mic
pretty
there so
bad.
we could hear
I
her?
liked it. I liked that style of mic. I thought it added something to the presentation. I really liked it. But you're right. Like, it wasn't working. It's like they just got to get that working right. But I like the presentation overall. I like the throwback aspect, even though it's not my era. The thing is, they tried to bring back Saturday night's main event when I was growing up with wrestling around 2006, 2007, but it never really caught on. You know, I remember not really being like super impressed with it or really understanding what they were doing. And I remember as a kid being confused because it was on a different channel that wrestling wasn't usually on.
Right.
So I think I would miss out on these shows happening, and then I would just get the recap on Raw or SmackDown the next week.
It was pretty
but
weird.
It was on NBC, which it's on broadcast TV. So they might be reaching people who normally wouldn't watch wrestling.
Why would you want to talk about Royal Rumble
on,
winners and losers
older
when you can talk about
demographic who would
underwear and
remember
socks
wrestling
and
from the
pasta?
80s or watching it. So I think that's the idea behind it.
Yeah.
But the overall thought on it, and I think this is what pretty much everybody has been saying, is this feels kind of like a glorified house show. It feels like nothing on this show you really needed to see. Like it wasn't essential for the progression of the story, and you kind of could have skipped over it. Was that the vibe you got from it, Phil?
Yeah, it was weird because, we've been doing the show now for about a month, and it seemed like every time that Raw was on, they were always hyping what was going to happen on Saturday night's main event. And they're like, here's a title match that's going to happen, and here's another big match that's going to happen. But then you watch the show, and as you
They're
get further into
finally
the show,
talking
you start
about
to realize,
wrestling.
oh, like this actually isn't that big of a deal. Like it's they pushed it that way, but you know that the real big deal is this Saturday, the Royal Rumble coming up. It's not really this. This was kind of a filler thing, maybe to push the Royal Rumble to a mainstream audience from NBC who normally wouldn't have watched the Royal Rumble. But I got that impression. Like by the end of the night, you're like, well, what was that? It was like a nice feel-good nostalgia trip for me, but it wasn't anything that I had to watch. I could have easily just read the results and it wouldn't have been as, any big deal. I didn't miss anything.
What I found weird about it, and I think my big criticism of it, although you weren't watching at this time, we just had one last month.
Oh.
And so there was one in December, and then it's like, okay, we're having another one in January. And I thought they were only going to do like 4 of these a year. And if you're only doing 4 of them a year, you want to make them feel big and special and space them out. But this was like just 1 month after the first one. And then nothing really of massive consequence happened.
Right.
I think its placement right next to the Rumble kind of hurt it in a way. But it was from
Probably a
start
little
off,
bit.
It was from the Frostbank Center in San Antonio, sold out crowd, huge venue. People were hyping the crowd for it. It's just very different than AEW. We covered AEW last week. Man, it's just grim for those guys right now, man. It's just sad. I didn't even watch their product this week.
Me either.
And one thing too,
Of course you didn't, DSP. You don't care about wrestling.
When you watch all of that, like we watch AEW, Raw, and now this Saturday night's main event, starts to feel like too much wrestling.
Yep.
And that's not even a portion. Like it's not even half really of all the wrestling that's on tap between WWE, AEW, TNA. Then you have the Japanese, the Mexican federations, the independent wrestling. You just have to wonder who is able to watch all of this and not feel burnt out. Even just one company, even just all the WWE product, you would have had to watch 2.5 hours of Raw, 3 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of NXT, and 2 hours of Saturday Night Main Event. It's like 12 hours of programming.
It's so much of a time investment. It's exhausting. It gets to the point where like I want to be.
It could be. Let's say if you had a real job and you have friends and you have a real wife that oh, it's our date night. Can't wait for Wednesday to go out on our date night. We're going to go to this restaurant that she really likes. ESP has none of that. He literally has sitting there begging 6 days a week. Any moment not on stream is his. He has no other obligations. He can literally do whatever the fuck he wants whenever he wants because he literally has no other obligations in his life. Once he gets done begging, that's it. Hours between streams, he can watch NXT. After the stream, watch Raw, SmackDown, AEW, whatever the fuck he wants to do. If he was an actual fan. If he actually wanted to do this, I got my wrestling podcast, I better watch wrestling now. He could. Because he has nothing else in his life. Instead, it's too much of a time sink, guys. It's too much work.
Be following it, but it's kind of like same thing with NFL or whatever. If there's too many games in a week, you get burnt out. You don't want to have to watch or do that much, and this is literally
bullshit.
The reason
More
why
games.
I actually quit
More
following
football.
pro wrestling.
Fuck you.
Is I don't want to invest 12 hours of my time a week just to know
that
what's
is
going on.
PPP of
Sometimes
Kino
these shows,
Casino.
if you skip one, you do feel like you missed something that was in that continuous timeline. You want to be in on what happened. I think that's why, to someone's point in chat, a lot of people have been asking me recently, would I watch SmackDown? And I said, I don't want to watch it right now. I don't have access to it. And they're like, well, you should just watch the summary. Like, you can easily go on YouTube and watch the summary of these shows that they post on YouTube. And that way you can be in the know.
$100
You don't
is
have to
dropped,
watch the whole
guys.
shows. And I got to wonder how many people are actually doing that. Because I don't have 12 hours a week. So maybe people are just skipping half the shows because there's just so much.
You don't have 12 hours a week? Yes, but you have 12 hours in a single fucking day. 8 hours for sleeping, 8 hours streaming between 2 shows. Actually, no, not even 8 hours. Let's say you cut out the pre-stream, you cut out the podcast, you did just gaming, that's like 5 hours. And honestly, he doesn't sleep 12 hours. He does not sleep 12 hours. He sleeps maybe 5. So 5 hours for games, 5 hours for sleeping. Gee, that leaves you 14 hours a day. So in one day, you can watch everything you ever needed to if there's only 12 hours of wrestling to watch. I don't know. Heaven forbid you spread it across 2 days.
It's oversaturation.
Part of the way I used to do it was fast forwarding through certain matches, like fast forwarding to the finish of a match just to see what happened. Going through the quiz. By the way, Papa Slapnuts for $100 saying Julia Hart works me into a shoot, brother. Doesn't she for everybody? Ooh, what a woman.
Oh yeah.
Rush. So we had Joe Tessitore on the microphone welcoming us to the show. We saw Cody Rhodes backstage walking around.
Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura was there.
Ventura was there. It was cool. Now, Jesse Ventura, he starts like talking about like how in Texas they can't handle snow.
Yeah.
And he was like shitting on the governor. It was kind of awkward. It was kind of weird. But you know what? I did like it.
Jesse Ventura hates Texas. It's hilarious.
Come across, I don't think that well.
He hates Texas, and I think that's funny as fuck.
That wasn't so sterile and wasn't so controlled and wasn't so corporate.
He wasn't kayfabe 1,000%. It was refreshing to hear someone talking outside the box and not, this is what's being wired to your ear to say right now. You knew he was just kind of going off from the hip, and it was definitely refreshing because of that. I mean, that's what he was known for back in the day, his kind of comments that would take everyone back. Oh crap, he said that on TV.
Yeah, so I don't know. I liked Jesse being on commentary.
Yeah, you can just watch highlights.
I thought he was great.
To.
Oh wait, we have here. He said if Sheamus wins, he'll get into the Hall of Fame. He hyped up the Intercontinental title match between Braun Breaker and Sheamus. Lillian Garcia.
Braun Breaker.
New or retro rather. Microphone coming from the ceiling. The first match, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. I gotta say, out of all the women's matches that we've covered so far, I think this was my favorite women's match that we covered. What did you think of this match?
Rhea Ripley is gorgeous. Yes, mommy.
First of all, presentation-wise, like when they're coming out, I was like I personally, I'm not a fan of Nia Jax, but they made her look.
I hate her.
They made her look like big shit. Like she's coming out, and the angle is like she looks like it's fucking, Godzilla is coming out or something. I was like, this is great presentation. This is again like WrestleMania level presentation that makes these people look larger than life, and I did like that. Let's see. I took some notes. I said, Nia, I'll be honest, I don't like her, but she did do more in this match than I thought she was capable of from what I had previously seen. Like, there was a code red spot that she actually did well, and I was like, whoa, she did that. I remember she used to just squash people. And
this should have been your only match you've ever seen her in DSP, because you just started watching.
Some decent stuff here. But the one note I said, so she's been wrestling the company, over 5 years, right? 6, 7 years, something crazy like that. Her finisher, she still has to get up on the ring post, and it's like she does like the Yokozuna butt drop. I'm like,
it's not good. Like Nia Jax is still so fucking sloppy in the ring. She's dangerous. People in chat are saying that she is dangerous in the ring.
Well, they didn't think of anything better in like 7+ years for her to do than this stupid butt drop, and it's the worst spot because you're always gonna fucking fuck it up, right? You rarely will it hit. If they interfere, that's how they turn the match around. But then she might botch it and hurt you because that's a dangerous spot to botch. She could crush your ribcage. Why is this still her
Pretty
finisher?
much, she's only there because she's related to The Rock.
Between Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley, and there really was a contrast here. Nia Jax is just a big fat slob. Rhea Ripley is like in
just
real,
like DSP and PPP.
She takes care of her body. She's working out. She's pushing it to the limit. She's in really good shape. Nia Jax, on the other hand, just a big, fat, sloppy, fucking dumpy slob. She's not good to look at. She's not good in the ring. Her promos are fucking terrible. The only thing that saves her is the WWE's presentation, as you said, filming her from those angles and stuff. And it made Rhea Ripley look really good that she was able to throw her around like she was. She was able to hit that code red maneuver. There were some things where the way Nia Jax's body was suited the match, like when
don't do it, Lodia's parody. Like, it would be awesome, but don't do it. Possible. If you want that game, emulate it.
The match wasn't anything amazing. It went about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Rhea won with her finisher. I give it like a 3 stars out of 5. I thought it was a competent enough match. It was
I wrote, this is so dumb. I don't know why they keep having her in main event matches. That's what I wrote here.
Well, it's as Content Lasagna said. She's related to The Rock. It's bloodline employment. It's who she knows. It's classic WWE nepotism. And
I thought she got fired at one point, didn't she? And then they rehired her. It's like you got rid of the problem, and then now you just okay, let me put it this way. She has a place in the company. You kind of need that big person, right? Like Yokozuna had a place in the company. I get it, but she's not good enough to be main event talent,
They
so just
have
have her
that
be
other
mid card,
girl
you know?
though, Dewdrop or what's her name
Oh
now?
yeah.
She's a bigger lady and she could fill into that role and she's a much more competent worker. But for whatever reason, they don't want to push her at all in that spot. Maybe it's because she's not foreign and they want to have kind of like you say that Yokozuna vibe.
God,
that
Factory Seal would
foreigner,
be so
big
tempting,
heel
but it's
vibe.
not
But
worth
the
it.
thing is it's just like
I mean, it
Nia
probably is
Jax
worth it,
not actually
but
jacked or
it's
like
not worth
strong
it.
like
Don't do
Shayna
it.
or Rhea Ripley.
She's just big.
She's just big and she's not even that tall. She's not really this physical.
I was at
specimen.
GameStop the other day when I was
Yeah,
bored.
Piper
Yeah.
Niven
It's like,
is
ooh, I want
way,
this, I want
way,
this, I
way
want
better.
this.
Like,
Like,
they really
don't
fucking
do it.
shot the bed
It's
with
not
her
worth it.
by bringing her in with that stupid name Dewdrop and gave her all these lame comedy gimmicks and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I really don't like Nia Jax. But this is about
Don't dare open it, Lord Diaz parody.
Nia Jax.
I would
Yeah.
disown you
Is
if you
put her in
did
this
that.
spot with Rhea Ripley, have her put Ripley over, have her look good. They showed Medusa at ringside.
Yes,
With
Linda
the
Blaze,
old-
yes.
The old women's title that she threw in the trash can.
Now, how'd she get that back if she threw it in the trash can? Was she
I
garbage
know,
picking? It's
right?
ridiculous.
She is dumpster diving for the belt. Then Sheamus made his entrance for the Intercontinental title match. Cole said it was the first IC title match since 1992 when Shawn Michaels beat the British Bulldog for the title on the show. I like they do these callbacks to the history now more often. It seemed for
That
a
is
long
nice.
time in like the 2010s era, they just seem to memory hole all of the history, all of the things that happened. Even like within a few months on the
Don't you
show,
dare, Lord Diaz
there
parody.
was no continuity. One thing I really like with the product now is there's a lot of continuity. Like especially with like Sami Zayn's story, they don't just forget, that
Right.
him and Kevin Owens were friends and enemies and friends again.
That's shocking to me because I was from the era where they always memory hold everything, and now they're calling back to the previous plots. I'm like, whoa, that's weird for me. I'm not used to that kind of continuity in the product.
1,200.
They
No, that's
showed
not
Gabriel
worth it.
Iglesias at ringside again,
Ugh.
which is one thing in Atlanta. I didn't write down all of the rappers, but on Raw, they must have had 15 or 20 rappers.
Yeah, I
there,
know.
dude.
I didn't write any names down because it was just like ridiculous at that point. I was like, come on. I was like
I
going
mean,
to write one
I
down.
mean,
And
there were some big name rappers that were there, but it's like, holy cow, how many are we going to show? So this match,
Why not
Sheamus
show all
and
of them?
Braun Breaker, it was a pretty good match. I think
Get the name out
Sheamus
there, just
really
saying.
seems to just have banger match after banger match after banger match these days. It's like a brawl type match. What did you think of it, Phil? What did you have marked down?
I like the match. I mean, again, I've seen a zillion Sheamus matches because I was
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
when
yeah,
was
he
coming
definitely
up,
hits the
and
Urbans.
First, he was the guy who was the IC, well, not the IC title guy, excuse me, the US title guy. He had that for a long time, and then he went King of the Ring back in the day, and he had both world titles and all of that. So I've kind of seen everything that he does. Right, for me, Braun
Yeah.
Breaker is the guy I'm more interested in, and I
Braun
do feel like this is a
Breaker.
really good showcase of what Braun Breaker can do. I hadn't seen much of anything he had done in NXT, so this was, but they both look strong, right? It wasn't like a match where one looked any really weaker than the other. It did kind of pull back and forth a bit. You didn't know. I legit thought Sheamus might have won it here, but then I thought in my head, wait a minute, this is Saturday night's main event. He's not. If he's gonna win it, I don't think he's gonna win it here. And I kept having that feeling in the back of my head all night that even though the match is good, I didn't feel like there were real stakes because I didn't think a title change was gonna happen, especially the week before the Royal Rumble. So
Yeah. I mean, this was the one where if there was going to be a change, it would happen here. But it doesn't really make sense because they're trying to establish Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
They're trying to push him on the main roster. Sheamus doesn't really need this win. He could get the
Yeah,
IC
Sheamus
title
didn't need the win.
really
He's
at any
big enough
point.
as
He's
it
probably
is.
going to be working there for years to come, even though he's getting a little bit older. He's probably going to be there for life, and he will eventually get the IC title. As Guy and Achilles said, he's winning at Mania. Could be Sheamus' big WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
But then we also saw on the Raw for the Rumble, they were teasing Pentagon versus Braun Breaker. So I like, well, by the way, I feel like this is one of the
Go
best
Pentagon.
builds to a Royal Rumble that I may have ever seen. If not actually the best build to a Royal Rumble, where there's many, many, many different ways they can take everything
Yes.
up and down the card. And they've set up and teased angles for everybody and false teases. And so you don't really know what's going to happen in the Royal Rumble match or even what's going to happen in these mid-card feuds. They could go with Sheamus and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. They could go with Braun Breaker and Pentagon, depending on how that goes. There's a lot of different options, and they've left things open. And the booking is just...
With WrestleMania, what they've shown is the person who eliminates Roman Reigns wins. The only time the person who eliminated Roman Reigns didn't win was because Roman Reigns wasn't eliminated, and he won. It's like, that is interesting that whatever Royal Rumble that Roman Reigns is in, if he gets eliminated, the person who eliminates him is the winner. Like, huh, so that'd be something to look out for on Saturday night.
so much better so much better than it used to be.
I agree, and Royal Rumble is one of my favorite pay-per-views that WWE does.
It's also my
this
favorite.
year is definitely one of those years. There is no clear-cut winner. It's not, though, this is the person, it's their destiny to win or anything like that.
Royal Rumble is easily my favorite. I just fucking love the concept completely. It is the best concept ever. Followed by Money in the Bank. I love that one just because I love the Money in the Bank. Like, oh, hey, you get this Money in the Bank briefcase, so you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can cash it in whenever you want. You can be, or Rob Van Dam, be like, I want you at one more night or one night stand, whatever, from ECW. And challenge John Cena and actually win it. Huge moment. Or you can be like, oh no, you just got done getting your ass beat by Brock Lesnar. And then he got disqualified because he, used a chair or something like that. Now I'm going to take you out instead and win the title.
I'm very excited for Saturday because first pay-per-view I'm seeing in years.
Don't you dare, no ideas parody.
You're going to feel that level of excitement when you're watching the match and who's going to do what. And, no matter what, even if it's a shitty ending, because they built it so well, you're still going to get that feeling that the journey was worth it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it's going to be a good one for sure.
We'll get into our previews and predictions. I guess the one complaint I would say about the Royal Rumble build, the women's Royal Rumble is like an afterthought.
That's actually true. Now that you're mentioning it, everything's been. I can't even think that they've been talking about the women's at all, right? I don't even.
They've had Bailey come out the odd time and talk about how she was going to win the Rumble. They might have been building it more on SmackDown, but I haven't been watching SmackDown.
I haven't seen it at all. Right.
One SmackDown the first week that we did this, and then I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to stay away from SmackDown. But overall, I thought this was a good brawl between Sheamus and Braun Breaker.
How are you going to do a WWE podcast and then not watch WWE?
What did you think of Jesse Ventura's call on his commentary at the end of the match? I'm curious about your take.
Well, he counted to 3, and he was like, I don't know. It was, you know what? I like that Jesse does that because nobody else is doing that stuff or making those sort of different arguments. And it's a throwback to what he would say back in the day.
Yep.
Or, what a Bobby Heenan would say, you know what I mean? Where they would come up with excuses or they would come up with a different way of viewing it within kayfabe that protected guys or gave them.
Never heard of that one.
I thought that was really fun. Actually.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, is there's a spot where Sheamus hits the bro kick, and it looked like he's going to win. But then Braun gets his leg on the rope, and the ref literally goes 1, 2, and 3. But then as he's connecting with 3, he goes, oh, his leg's on the rope. And Jesse's like, what, are you crazy? No, he counted 3. That should have been the end of the match. And I like that. I like that controversial kind of call. They used to do this back in the day, and Jesse's the kind of guy who would call that stuff out. So if anything, like that, thinking Saturday Night Main Event, I'm like, that's the kind of stuff they used to do on Saturday Night Main Event back in the day, and I really liked it.
It was a good callback. And then one thing when we're on the Ventura topic, Hulk Hogan was supposed to be on this show.
Oh.
And they had promoted him as being on this show. And then
Piss off, Hogan.
Before, I think maybe because Jesse Ventura was there, maybe because of the response that he
got Ventura would have kicked his ass
on the first Raw, they pulled Hulk Hogan from the show, which I think is sad because I think in San Antonio, Texas, he might have got a better reception.
Likely, yeah. Right.
It's Texas. It's more red, more Republican. But it might just be wrestling fans in general are fucking done with Hogan. There's a lot of people who say it didn't have to do with politics.
Thing is, Hulk Hogan and Undertaker are both MAGA. Undertaker had Trump on his podcast. And yet only one of them got booed when they were in LA. Gee, and which one was that? Oh, the one that has multiple recorded racist tirades. Like, gee, I wonder what the difference is. Both MAGA, one of them had Trump on his podcast, and yet he wasn't booed. The guy who literally had Trump on his podcast wasn't booed. The guy who's had multiple recorded rants being racist, he's the one who got booed. So, gee, I wonder what the difference is. I wonder why one got booed and the other one apparently is just not allowed in WWE anymore. Can't imagine why. And it has absolutely nothing to do with being LA or Texas or anything else like that. And they booed him because he was black.
And he's a liar and everybody's tired of him. I don't think that that's really the case. I would have liked to see that test of how he would have done in front of this crowd, but we didn't get it. Maybe it's because Ventura was there and they would have been fighting because they have a lot of heat going back like 40 years.
Yeah, hilarious to see Ventura kick his ass.
They showed $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase at ringside. That was really cool to see Ted DiBiase. They showed Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They showed some legends. There was some nostalgia there. Then we had Shawn Michaels come out. Shawn Michaels made his entrance. People were going crazy for him.
Yes.
It was the
Well, it's his home
contract.
right. He's in Texas, of course. Everyone's going to love him.
But
Yeah.
everybody's going to love Shawn Michaels basically wherever they are. Even though Shawn Michaels really is kind of a piece of shit. When you read the stories about what Shawn Michaels was doing back in the day and the rumors of him doing sexual favors for Vince McMahon and how he would treat other people and do drugs and just be a fucking maniac, people forgave him though.
Yeah.
But he was a born again Christian.
Right.
And, he had
The
a
big
whole
turnaround. Yep.
run for 10 or 15 years where he was decent and people, weren't upset. But it's just interesting how wrestling fans seem to forgive everybody except Hogan now. It seems like everybody gets forgiven no matter how dirty their past, but people.
There's a huge difference between, from all the injuries I had all this pain, so I got addicted to drugs to deal with the pain. Then I finally got clean and I found myself again, versus saying multiple racist rants and getting recorded for it. Huge difference. My dad went to WrestleMania 3 and watched Hogan wrestle Andre the Giant. Holy shit, that's amazing. Effing chat for Andre the Giant. The true giant. I would say, if Iron Sheik was still alive, he would have been on that show. He would have been there like, wait for it. Hogan! And put him in the hospital. Fuck him.
People are saying no with Hogan, which is crazy because he's just such a big part of wrestling. Kevin Owens made his entrance with the Winged Eagle version of the title.
I saw it this time, and I finally saw it. I was like, oh, that's what he was talking about last week.
Man, is it ever a nice title?
Hell yeah.
It looks so much better than the title that they have today.
Any of the titles that have the full, like, really emblazoned gold. Like, I love the World Heavyweight title. That's my favorite title of all time. And this, again, has that classic vibe. It looks like it's dignified.
My favorite is probably the broken skull one that Stone Cold used to carry.
And it means something. It doesn't look like, oh, it's a corporate title with WWE on the fucking front. I hate that shit.
I don't know. And I think everybody kind of agrees with that and wishes that this could be the title or Big Gold be the title. It's the one thing about this current product is I just don't like many of the championships. I don't really like the new IC title design. I prefer that classic design that they had from back in either the 80s or the mid 2000s. But again, I digress. Kevin Owens, he had a Cody Sucks Egg shirt, which I thought that was kind of fun. I thought that was
that was a throwback of Terry Funk had a Someone Sucks Egg shirt on back in the day. I forget who it was. It was a Terry Funk reference.
Dusty.
Direct from Saturday Night's Main Event.
Dusty Sucks really Eggs.
Cool. Cody Rhodes came out. He was in the suit as usual. Cody,
I want to make a comment here. We've been doing this for a month. I have not seen a Cody Rhodes entrance yet because he literally hasn't done a full entrance until this show that we've been watching. And his theme, I hate it. I'm sorry, I hate his theme song. Like, I guess this is the theme he took into AEW, correct?
Yes.
It's the same theme song. And his presentation's fine, but the lyrics are fucking. I wrote, it's awful screaming. It sounds like some kind of an angsty teenager in a garage band yelling. It just doesn't sound like this is the kind of theme of the guy who did this big story of redemption and he finished his story like me. Oh God!
Like, you think about it, is it iconic like Hogan's theme, like it's Real American?
Not at all, in any way.
The Rock's theme song, or Austin when the glass shatters. Is this the theme of a main event? Not just a main event guy, because it's main event, but the guy in the company that they're building the whole presentation around. I've always felt that he's lacking a lot. I'm still not convinced that Cody is the guy in the company that's going to carry it into the future. And
smell the wrestlers. I mean, smells a very strong trigger for memories.
A lot of people with this whole story about his father, this whole sob story. It's like,
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I hate how all these newer wrestlers like, oh wow, it's generic rock music. Who is it? Fuck do I know? They don't have anything unique about their music. Oh look, here's another generic rock music song. Who's the wrestler coming out? Fuck do I know? Back in the day, if you smell, you know it's The Rock. Glass shattering, you know it's Stone Cold. Car wreck, Mankind. Well, you don't even need to hear the rest of the song. You know it's The Big Show. You think you know me. Oh, it's Edge coming out. Like, you knew who was coming out just by the music. The second the music hit, you knew who it was. Now it's generic music, generic rock music. Don't you like this generic rock music that sounds like everyone else? So you have no idea who the fuck is coming out. Or Gong, Undertaker. Or the second the flames burst out from the stage, you know it's Kane or Booyaka, Booyaka. Oh, it's Rey Mysterio. trying to think of others. Bow, bow, bow. Oh, hey, it's Chris Jericho. Just like that annoying ass sound, but you know that annoying ass sound is going to be Chris Jericho's music. You know Chris Jericho's coming out. Even if that music was fucking annoying as hell. But you knew who it was just by the sound. Someone posted the video when Chris Jericho returned, and it was like someone's fan cam. Like, it wasn't from the WWE, it was someone like in the stands recording. And it's like, wow, this is a really good camera for like 2007 or whatever it was. And it's like, yeah, it is a really good camera. It was a really good angle. And just hearing the crowd noise of the crowd going nuts when, did you break the code? Break the walls down. Like, it's Chris Jericho. Oh, Kurt Angle. Dun, 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 dun. It's like, you hear that. It's like, you suck. You suck. Like, you know what's coming out. And nowadays, oh, wow, there's 20. No, you're watching Royal Rumble. Wow, there's 20 rock songs in a row that, who the fuck does it belong to? Now, it's just another generic rock song. And then someone from the older times comes out and is like, oh, hey, you know exactly who it is the second the music hits. You don't need the commentators to tell you. You don't need Pat McAfee to be like, oh, wow, here comes this guy. It's like, no, you know the second that music hits who it is. As opposed to a lot of these guys where it's like, wow, here's a guitar riff. Followed by guitar riff. Followed by, look at this, guys, it's something completely different. It's a guitar riff.
There are a lot of people who had dads who didn't win WWE championships, Cody. In fact, pretty much everybody's father didn't get to win the WWE championship. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that you necessarily deserve to be champion. And I hate this idea. It's like, you deserve it. Like, well, how about he earns it? How about he be the best guy in the company? And I don't know if he really is the best guy in the company. I certainly don't think from an in-ring perspective, he's the best worker. I don't think his promos are the best on the roster. I think that he got to his position because he defected from AEW, and they wanted to show that they would treat AEW guys fairly, and they wanted to make AEW look bad. See, look, Cody couldn't get over there, but here he's over. He's the main guy here. Same thing with CM Punk. See, they said they couldn't make CM Punk work, but we can make CM Punk work, and that's why I think he'll probably get the Royal Rumble win on Sunday. Or Saturday, rather. But what did you think of this contract signing? I
say instead of CM Punk, why not Goldust? Goldust comes out. The second you hear that music, you know who it is. He comes out, and he wins, challenges his brother, because it's time for my story. You're talking about your story and finishing your story. But what about my story? I was here before you. I've been putting in my blood, sweat, and tears into this company for decades. I was here for a decade before you were, so it's time for my story. Because Freeze is awesome.
Get you excited for the match at Royal Rumble? Do you think it built it up?
Yeah, I think Punk's going to win,
my
unfortunately.
Exact thoughts, I kind of went off in
my notes. But if he eliminates Roman Reigns, then you know for sure he's winning.
It's lame. It's obviously a placeholder in the middle of the show. Watching this, not at one moment do I think that KO is going to beat Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble. This totally feels like a whole hold you over till WrestleMania plotline. They need something to do at the Rumble. And this, KO is a great guy. He's a great performer. He'll do a great job. And he's not going to whine and complain that he doesn't have a legit chance of winning the title. He doesn't care. He's kind of a company guy at this point. So he's the guy to do the job. But
KO.
I just don't understand. Number one, why do we still have a contract signing in 2025? Like, I get that sometimes they do this, but doesn't it feel like a holdover from the days of we needed content to fill the show, and we just need something?
It's that they're fucking lazy. Honestly, we could just have a straight up promo segment confrontation without the contract. It's always somebody's gonna go through the table. You know what I mean? There's gonna, I don't know.
Even the rules of the match that they announced, because I think for the first time they said, so both titles will be suspended because it's a ladder match. Wait, why? There's only one of the titles is legit. The other one, is the wing. And I get it. The wing title is cool. But you know what's going to happen because there's two titles. Now there's going to be a spot. One of them will grab one title. One of them will grab the other title. And then they're going to have to do something to figure out who won.
It could possibly be a schmoz like that. And then they have to wrestle again. I really, really would be surprised.
At No Way Out.
Really would be genuinely shocked.
Yeah.
I give it maybe a 5% chance of happening.
Here, Kevin Owens will win if Cody breaks both legs during the match. Then he will win the match.
You can't say it's 0% because there could be an injury. It could be it's just so obvious that Vince might book it this way, but Vince isn't there anymore where he's like, well, pal, if it feels too obvious, we got to give him a swerve. We got to do something different. and they might have taken it off Cody, but I don't think this belt is coming off Cody
Not a
until
chance.
WrestleMania at the earliest.
Yes,
I would actually be excited to see it come off Cody because I feel like pretty much everybody's in agreement that this title run has been lame. You know, it just hasn't really taken off. Somebody in chat was saying, well, did you guys miss, you know, when he was super over, when he won the title from Roman? It's like, no, I was there for that. And it was a good moment when he won the title from Roman.
It was nice to actually have the title on someone who's going to show up. Roman Reigns, like, oh, he had the 1,087-day reign. Yeah, but he had like 5 matches. Fuck, I could have a 1,087-day reign if you only made me wrestle once. Here's your title. All right, you don't have to wrestle again for 1,087 days. Wow, guys, I had a 1,087-day reign. Yeah, because you didn't wrestle for 1,087 days. Yeah, semantics. Just saying.
Roman, absolutely. And it felt like an Avengers Endgame moment.
Right, but it would have felt the same if anyone won the title from Roman, because that was the plot, is that he was unbeatable and you needed someone who was going to be superhuman to beat the superhuman tribal chief. It wasn't because Cody beat him. It was because someone unseated the tribal chief after such a long run.
And they're going to show up more than once every 6 months.
You know?
They gave him, as Conlazon says, they gave Cody everything with that moment. What has he done with it since then?
Try to fight Floyd.
The only thing people really point to is the AJ Styles match was really, really good. But anybody can have a really, really good match with AJ Styles, especially in front of the crowd that they had that was so white hot and was into everything. And just since then, it's just felt like we're in a holding pattern. At no point during any of his other defenses have you felt any sort of threat to his championship, because you know the storyline with, you know, Roman Reigns and The Rock, that's coming up at WrestleMania. And how do you address that? And it might be like, I don't know if The Rock is going to be in this Royal Rumble. I would really like to see The Rock versus Cody at WrestleMania. I think that might be cool. Or The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. But I don't know if he's going to be back and working. The Rock might be a dark horse to win the Rumble. We'll get into who potentially could win it later. But, you know, it was an okay segment. It was cool to see Shawn Michaels. Cool to see him do the Sweet Chin music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He managed to get his leg up there for it. He's fucking old, though. He's old, though. Then, they did a video package for Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. Braun Strowman made his entrance. For a while, Braun Strowman wasn't in the company. He disappeared for a while. They finally brought him back. I've kind of liked Braun Strowman, but it seems like he has a ceiling. You know what I mean? What did you think of this whole Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu stuff? Which one of them do you think has more upside in the way they put this together?
Jacob's got more upside, easily.
First of all, when I was watching WWE, that was when Strowman was like, you know, top of the card. He was constantly wrestling the guys who were at the top for the title and stuff like that. And I didn't, I wasn't watching during the time when I guess he had been released and went off to do whatever. I don't even know if he wrestled anywhere else during that time and then came back. So this is the first time I've seen him in a long time. And I'm still, in my mind, I'm still thinking this guy is the monster among men. This guy is the guy who's just going to be unstoppable, unjobbable. And he has this match against Jacob Fatu. And all of a sudden, it's kind of like all the mystique around this guy has been removed almost. Like at first I thought, oh, it's him. But then as soon as you start, wait a minute. Jacob's no selling him. Jacob's actually like, fighting back legit and everything. And just be honest, Jacob Fatu is much smaller than Braun Strowman.
Yes,
so to see the smaller guy is being billed like the monster, and it's kind of weird to see the small guy be billed like the monster against the monster. And it threw me for a loop. Like, I like what they did. I mean, it was absolutely over the top ridiculous by the end where there was blood and all this nonsense. I think it was like way overdone in that. But like, you could have squashed him and I had to do 10 of the turnbuckle shots, which then makes his head explode or whatever. You know what I mean? But I thought that it really built up Jacob in a great way. And I hadn't seen Jacob before. And definitely, if you're going to have someone be built up to be a monster, beat the monster, right? So I think that was the way to do it. And if Braun wasn't in any position to win anything, and it didn't really matter that he did the job, I guess it made sense. But for me, it definitely was off-putting because this was the guy who was doing that to other people 5+ years ago, and now he's the one taking the job, and it was kind of weird.
Yeah, and he was hot back during that run, like when he was feuding with Roman Reigns, and I think he like tipped over the tractor trailer. And all, he had some good moments back then. But people in chat are saying he needs some sort of a character. He needs some sort of a gimmick to him again, or something added to his presentation. Because right now, I think he's ice cold. They really haven't been doing anything with him. But whatever, he's a good enhancement for Jacob Fatu. I guess they really want to get behind Jacob Fatu and really make him out to be a star. And this helped towards that. But I didn't really think this was like a super amazing segment or anything like that.
Yeah. It was too over the top. The ending was just too overblown. Like someone just said in chat, they used a blood packet, and it's so weird. If he's just running to the turnbuckle, what's he bleeding from? Unless he broke his nose, like where's this blood coming from? And they used to do segments like this back in the day, but again, to have the smaller guy be the one bullying the bigger guy, it just didn't seem to make sense. I don't know. It just didn't feel right the way that they did it.
Then we had the main event.
I'll say the thing with wrestling is like, oh, they hate each other. Oh, they want to kill each other. It's like, nah. Unless something really gets fucked over, like when Hulk Hogan fucked over Jesse Ventura, these guys are putting their lives on the line. Like, hey, you fuck up your move, I'm gonna be paralyzed. Don't fuck up your move. Hey, I won't fuck up my move if you don't fuck up your move. Like, they gotta trust each other with their health, their livelihoods. And that takes a lot of fucking skill. People, oh, it's fake. It's like, the outcomes might be fake, but you can't fake gravity. And yeah, no, when you see, like, oh, slow down, like, oh, the big boo was actually to the guy's hand, not to his head. It's like, oh, no, his hand got kicked. Ooh, what a big deal. But then, no, you're doing a frog splash off the top of a ladder through a table on the outside during a tables, ladders, chair match. How do you fake that? Here's a hint. You don't.
I guess we're going to have to start kind of tearing through this if we're going to get through Raw. But we had the main event, Gunther versus Jey Uso. What did you think, Phil? Honestly, I never buyed in for 1 second that Jey Uso was going to win this match, man.
In a nutshell, first of all, I loved Gunther's entrance. I never heard the full thing and seen the full thing before. I think he actually has one of the best entrance themes of anyone in WWE right now. I really like it. And, I mean, just to be honest, we were both last week questioning, does Jey Uso really have a shot here? I mean, they give him spots where it looks like he's going to win, but let's be honest, dude, he does all 3 of his finishers in a row, and Gunther's like, F that, kicks the hell out and just grabs him, boom, boom, done. I mean, that's got to kill his momentum.
Oh, man, it's just basically a burial of the guy in a way where it's like, listen, there's a hard ceiling on him. The crowd reacts to him so well. I don't know if there's anything else he could possibly do to get any more over with the audience, but it seems to me he is really a one-trick pony. He's an entrance wrestler. He seems to cut the same promo where he says like 1 or 2 words, then they go yeet, and they,
Yeet.
And then he says another couple words, and they go yeet. And in this match, you could just see it's like night and day difference between their abilities. The spot that's going around everywhere online is Jay botching that spear. That spear looked like fucking shit. And it just feels like every time they give Jey Uso one of these big opportunities in a singles match, like they had the Uso versus Uso at WrestleMania last year, like this match with Gunther, he shits the fucking bed. His bag isn't deep enough, especially for today. For today's wrestling audience that's so obsessed with work rate and moves, they are not accepting this. They're not accepting that he's just like super kick, splash, Samoan drop, punches, kicks. He just doesn't have enough.
It's not the late 2000s anymore, and you can't do 5 moves of doom and expect to get over with the modern audience. And that's what he is. He's a 5 moves of doom dude, and he has a powerful catchphrase that everyone likes, and they're going to have to figure out a way to adjust.
Bunny waifu, best waifu.
He's not going to be beating legit opponents like Gunther, or if he does, people are going to be pissed that he's beating them.
He's not the main event talent. Like Lady Charisma was saying here, Jay has the crowd behind him. This loss will do nothing. He will have a mid-card title by SummerSlam. Yeah, he can have a mid-card title.
Exactly.
He can have a tag team run, but this guy's not the WWE champ. This guy's not the world heavyweight champ. It's just not happening for him, and that's fine. Not everybody is going to be the champ, but there's been speculation on whether or not...
Like Goldust, like Shelton Benjamin, like Razor Ramon. There's been a lot of top guys that were great talents, never held the big title.
He could have a run like Roman or have a big run on top. He's not that guy, and this match kind of showcased that. It was a good enough match. I never really felt like it kicked into that next level. I don't think they had enough time to really make it amazing, especially because they had the commercials with Saturday Night Main Event and all of that as well. So it was a good enough match. It certainly wasn't a bad match. Like, I'll give it 3.5 stars, maybe 3 3/4 stars, but it didn't break through to that 4-star level. This show overall, it was a good enough show. Like, it wasn't a waste of time, I don't think, but it was
more entertainment than results. Like, I enjoyed the show. I liked the nostalgia segments. I liked Jesse Ventura being on there. I liked seeing Gunther in a big match like that, and Jay getting his chance. There were things I liked, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, it would have been nice maybe if there was a title change, so at least it felt momentous. There was a reason really to tune in, but it was still an entertaining show for sure.
Okay, let's go to Monday Night Raw.
We have one quick super chat that came in from Clammy V. Clammy is asking you, PPP, have you thought to force Andy to watch professional wrestling?
Okay. So Andy's own girlfriend is a huge professional wrestling fan. Loves
You know it,
wrestling,
Cody.
obsessed with it, watches every show. He won't even watch it for her. You know, he says, I can't do it. He says, I can't do it, man. I can't watch it. He just, you know, and that's fine. There are some people where with wrestling, they just can't fucking watch it.
Yeah.
And I've sat him
They can't
down
watch
and I've
Pete.
had him watch wrestling with me before, but he just doesn't get it. It's not for him. You know, he watched it back in the Attitude Era, you know, and
Past
he
era.
liked it back then. And, you know, he was into it, but now it just feels too cheesy. Now, maybe in this Netflix era, he would be more into it because I showed it to him a couple years ago and it was still pretty fucking bad. But I don't know. It's just not for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not for everybody. It really is a polarizing medium where you either love it or you hate it. There's not very many people who are in between. Okay, let's get some subs. Let's get some super chats in. We're getting close to this goal, guys.
That's right. We're actually
getting
getting real close. Only about 150, 160 away. So just to, you know, drop one
Only
bomb there,
160
so-
away, guys. Only $160, Echo.
Bomb. Let's take some.
Don't you want to
chunks
show
out
up
of
and
this.
give them
If everybody
$160
over on
for this
Kick
amazing
drops one
content?
sub now, we could put a big dent in this goal. Okay, so let's smash it. Let's hit it, guys. Let's make this happen. We got to support the show. I think it's actually been a really good show so far.
I think
Probably the best Grill Phil segment that we may ever have. It was
Oh,
fantastic.
I haven't put the flames out yet. We still got the smoke in here. I got to open the window to clear this area out, man. Like, jeez.
And you know, you've really opened up with your wrestling takes. You're giving really good takes, Phil, really good explanations and thoughts on everything. I think it's flowing really well. So, and we had definitely the best Grill Ash segment so far.
I mean, it's not been the
Certainly.
worst
So,
show ever,
okay, we open
like
up
it usually
Raw
is.
Review. It's in Atlanta. It's another sellout crowd. Its promotion is white hot. They have drone shots inside showing off the crowd. We see Cody. I wrote, it's a rare Raw appearance for Cody, but we see him backstage. He's going to factor in towards the main event. Sami Zayn is shown backstage. It's Sami versus Drew tonight.
Right.
Big notice I had, the ring now has a WWE logo in the middle.
In the middle.
So it's kind
Like
of
the old
going
toys.
towards that UFC style presentation where they'll have the UFC logo in the middle and then they have various advertisers around it. I like the idea. I don't so much like the execution of it because I don't like the new WWE logo that much. What did you think of it, Phil? Like they have that in the middle of the ring now.
I
know you're
definitely
not a
thought
big fan.
it's definitely better than it kind of being empty like it was that last week.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of weird to see a bunch of advertisers and nothing in the middle. It makes you question. I think it's better this way. I'd rather have that than an advertiser in the middle. That's for sure. But like you said, if you don't like the WWE logo, you're probably gonna be like, oh, it's getting shoved down my corporate now, right? It's like, oh. But I liked it more than the empty ring for sure. But I also liked it better than like Fortnite in there. So.
Well, Duns Felter in chat saying you don't even notice the logos on the ring mat when the match gets going anyway, which I find to be the case. I don't think it's really that big of a deal, but I kind of like it
I
as
usually
like a
don't notice.
sports-based presentation, makes it look like other combat sports. I know some people say it's cheap commercialism. I tend to like it. Seth Rollins' music hits. They show a really cool graphic, I thought, of all the titles he's won. Like, you know, his Royal Rumble accomplishment, Money in the Bank, you know, IC title, WWE title, tag titles. He's basically won everything there is to win in the company. He comes out and, you know, he talks about, he says he's a visionary, a
Thoughts on
revolutionary.
the Starfish
It's
DSP?
WrestleMania season.
That's what it says.
I wrote here, Buddy comes across as he's very fake hyper excited. You know, I don't really believe in him. And he's just so naturally sleazy with how his voice sounds. Do you know what I mean? The way that Seth sounds with his voice, he just sounds like a heel. He sounds like a sleazy scumbag.
He makes a great heel.
So it's
I will
hard
admit
for
that.
me to buy him as a babyface.
Yeah.
And it always has been. I've always felt that he was better off as a heel, even though his moveset isn't a natural heel moveset, just because of the way his personality comes across.
Yeah,
And I feel
I took a note. He comes out with these giant oversized sunglasses, and I'm trying to think, well, who else had those? Macho Man. I was like, dude, he cannot pull this kind of stuff off. Like, Macho Man could come out with those crazy glasses, and even though they looked ridiculous, you'd be like, that's cool, right? You know, he comes out, and you're kind of like, he kind of looks like a nerd. He kind of looks like a geek, and he's trying to be like the predecessors. He doesn't seem, I mean, I like his in-ring work. That's my favorite thing about Seth Rollins. His in-ring work is actually impeccable, in my opinion. But as a character and as someone who's believable in these positions, it's not as strong. And I get what he's trying to be that larger than life guy, but I don't buy it. I keep seeing other people who did it better than him in the
That's
past.
the thing is I don't see him as his own character. I don't see this as being the authentic Seth Rollins. I don't see this as being him. I feel like he's trying to imitate somebody else,
Right.
or taking various parts of other people and mixing it together. And so I really don't buy into him as a character. I really don't buy into what he says. I don't really get excited for anything that he does. I feel like he's kind of past his prime. But you know, he talks about how he's going to win the Rumble, and this is a recurring thing that kind of drags down these episodes. Is every promo is about winning the Royal Rumble match. And it's been like this for like 3 weeks. And I know it's Royal Rumble season, and I know that they have to do it, and they have to have these promos about winning the Rumble, but they all are basically the same promo. You know what I mean? And there's so many of them between shows that it just starts to get a little bit repetitive and samey. You know, he talks about how it's been embarrassing for him this year. He was embarrassed by Punk on the first Raw. He was questioning who he is, but now he's Seth Rollins, and he doesn't stay down, and he's going to get up, and he's going to challenge Cody Rhodes or maybe Gunther.
It's hilarious when he tries to do that.
Crazy.
No.
For the idea.
Any insult from him is always going to be ridiculous.
They were kind of sitting on their hands for that.
Yeah.
And then
they're
we
very
never
quiet.
really...
He was like, I'm going to throw out him. I'm going to throw out Punk. I'm going to throw out him. And the crowd was like, nah, don't really care. You know, we'd much rather see other people than you know, win this thing.
Then Gunther came out and interrupted Seth. You know, he tells Seth, because Seth says something to the effect of, you're just keeping the belt warm for me.
Right.
And, you know, he says, if you think I'm keeping the belt warm for you, where have you been the last few months? I just whooped Jey Uso's ass. You've just been sitting around whining and crying. And he says Seth should focus on winning the Royal Rumble, but he's not sure if Seth even has that in him anymore. And then Seth says the world title wouldn't exist without him, and that he made that title. Now, Roman being the champ for like 4 years straight is why that title exists.
With six,
not because it was created to put over Seth Rollins or anything like that, or that he was such a big deal they had to give him a world title. It was just like there was nothing for guys to compete over because Roman was just the guy.
Right.
And so, like, him reminding me of that, it's like, yeah, last year you were so secondary. You played such a second fiddle to Roman Reigns and that whole storyline and to Cody. I just think it's a big fucking cope. And him talking about how he made that title, made it into what? I don't really view it as this prestigious. I don't view it as the real world title.
Right.
Now, Gunther having it, in reality, I feel actually elevates the title because Gunther feels fresh and new.
Gunther's badass. Yeah, he's
there's
new.
There's a lot of buzz around him.
He's younger.
And he was Intercontinental Champion for the longest reign ever. So him getting that belt, in my opinion, elevates it way more than Seth ever having it. So I kind of felt that was
something that AEW fails to do is push the younger guys. Now, yes, you're still going to get, The Rock going out there and John Cena going out there and winning shit, unfortunately. But they still have guys like Gunther going out there and winning. They have some of the younger talent going out there and winning titles. And winning big matches, winning Money in the Bank, winning Royal Rumbles, whatever. Which is what you need. Because eventually, The Rock's going to be like, I can't do this anymore. My body just can't fucking handle it. Eventually, all these guys are going to be like, I just can't do it. John Cena's, I'm just too beat up. I'm too old to be doing this. I gotta stick to acting. And what happens then is like, well, we didn't push anyone younger, so, Mankind, you want to come out of retirement? No. Stone Cold? No. Triple H? I literally can't. If I take one bump in the ring, I'm gonna fucking die from my pacemaker and all that. Fuck, what do we do then? Oh, I know. Push younger guys now. So that way, 5 years from now, when literally anyone from that wrestled before 2000 says I'm just too fucking old, like, it doesn't matter because we have all this younger talent to come out.
That was fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
but
it's the young blood title now with Gunther having it. It's, wow, we have an up and comer who's feeling strong, getting a push. Now their main event. If Seth gets that title back, does it really mean anything at all? It's just kind of, well, it doesn't have any kind of value to put it on Seth again. And so maybe that's why Seth hasn't challenged Gunther in the last several months, because WWE realizes that.
Yeah. But Gunther gives Seth his props. He says, I know you're one of the best wrestlers. You've accomplished all the accolades,
those guys are just old and beat up, like they can't handle it.
And you're not the best wrestler in this company anymore. Gunther is. And Gunther says, go win the Royal Rumble and challenge me. Then Logan Paul hits the ring. So I'm curious what you think about this, Phil.
Once again,
I love Seth Rollins turned to Gunther and said, who the fuck is that? Like, he even doesn't even know who he is.
In WWE.
Once again, terrible grading theme song. Bothers me. So annoyed. Like, it doesn't get me excited for the guy coming out. Monstrous boos, just like the crowd does with Nia Jax. I guess they hate him just as much because, man, they were loud with their boos.
They hated him, but who gets heel heat like this anymore?
That's very true. I mean,
the thing is,
reminds
there
me
are
like
no real heels.
back in the day, like Miz when he was winning and beating like Cena was
The
getting heel
Miz!
heat like this.
Go
and now
Miz.
finally this guy kind of comes in and I guess maybe is supposed to be the top heel heat guy. And he says that Netflix needs a new face and you suck. And I'm gonna work smart, not hard in the Rumble. I want to be the last one in. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. That they didn't do that this year. Some years they do that series of matches to determine who'll be like number 29 or
and
30.
they would spin the raffle and pull the numbers out, right?
And they did
didn't
nothing.
really do that. They didn't set up who would be number 1, who would be number 30. Maybe they'll do that on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Maybe
Seems a
they'll
little
do
late,
that
though.
for SmackDown, but maybe they want it to be a surprise and save it as a surprise for the show. Logan's promo here, I think it was impressive because the crowd was fucking dogging him, bro. They're hitting him with those what chants, and those what chants can really derail people and destroy them. He just no-sold that shit, kept giving his promo, and, if people want to see this guy lose and they're going to pay to see him lose, that's good.
Right.
I don't know if it's totally go away heat, but I think the fans, they don't like Logan Paul. They don't like him as a person. And I think that's a good thing. And I think that, we don't have a lot of heels in professional wrestling that people love to hate and love to shit on. And you'll see his work in the Royal Rumble match. And I'd really like you to see him wrestle because he is able to do some really athletic things. He is athletically gifted. He is a natural worker, a natural wrestler. I think the problem with him is that he's doing so many other things. Like he says, he's the best at everything, and they're only good at wrestling. Well, the problem with that is his focus is too divided, and he's not there enough to really become a top guy. But
But again, Roman Reigns showed up 6 matches across 4 years. So, he doesn't show up enough. If he shows up more than 6 times in 4 years, he showed up more than Roman Reigns did.
Tells them they both hit their ceiling, which for Seth I think is true. I think Seth has hit his ceiling. I'm not sure if Gunther has hit his ceiling
No,
yet.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so at all. I think that this is going to be a push that's going to get him to his ceiling, possibly, where he's doing right now, taking on all challengers and slapping down the people who are the pretenders like Jey Uso. Like, this is what they need to do to build him up legit. So I disagree there, and I agree with you. I'm excited to see what Logan will do in the Rumble. I've never seen him wrestle before. I already said on the show, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what he does on Saturday.
Yeah. It was an okay segment. These promos wasn't anything like crazy or amazing, but it was okay.
Yeah.
Then we got CM Punk backstage. He says he's going to throw everybody's ass over the top rope. Sami Zayn interrupts him. He goes, "Last week you said I'm not on your level." And Punk goes, "Yeah, I did. I said you're not on my level." And Sami goes, "It's true. I main evented WrestleMania and you haven't."
Oh,
And
that's a good
one. That
one.
really does stick in Punk's craw and really is effective because that's what Punk was bitching about when he left in 2014. He did all those shoot promos.
Yeah, if he
on
committed,
Rick
he could be
Vanna's
huge,
podcast
but he
and
won't
other
commit,
interviews
unfortunately.
Where he said, "I wanted the main event of WrestleMania," and they wouldn't give me the main event of WrestleMania, and they gave it to part-timers like The Rock and stuff. And it's funny, it's now come full circle to where CM Punk is now the part-timer. That CM Punk is now the part-time special attraction guy who comes in and might main event WrestleMania. It's like poetry there. Then Karrion Kross catches up to Sami. I don't understand what the hell they're doing with Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross here. Why is Karrion Kross doing this stuff? Why is he involved in anything? I don't know.
This is upsetting me because, number one, like we have been saying, it seemed like this Royal Rumble, you don't know who's going to win it, and maybe Sami could be a contender. But the fact that this keeps coming back makes me feel like he's not going to win the Rumble because of Karrion Kross, or this will be a reason he gets recruited by Karrion Kross. And I just don't want to see Sami Zayn involved with Karrion Kross.
It's this weird thing they're doing with Karrion Kross where he's like going up to people and trying to put like thoughts in their heads and manipulate them. He's trying to get Sami to turn heel here. I think ultimately Sami isn't going to help Kevin Owens win the title. And, they teased this, like, he's, Kevin at the end of the show.
Yeah.
It was like patting him on the chest, like, good job, kicking him Cody in the head.
Right.
You
scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We'll help each other out, and then let's have the title match together. Right.
I think ultimately Sami's character, the way it's always laid out, is he's not going to turn heel. He's not going to do that bad thing. Now, maybe they might have him do it, but I don't think that's that time.
I just know it kind of gives me like reminiscing. Like, I remember when Daniel Bryan was like at the height of his popularity, they decided to turn him heel and have him join the Wyatt family. And everyone was like, what are you doing? This is the worst angle ever. And that turned into them changing their mind and him going to WrestleMania and winning the title. I hope that they don't do something like that with Sammy, unless, hey, if it means that he actually does get his time in the sun and he wins a title, but I don't want to see him join this stupid Cross stable. I think that it would be bad timing and it would suck.
Oh, it would be really, really bad for Sami Zayn and the Karrion Kross stable. It doesn't make any sense to me. They're never presented in a serious manner whatsoever, and so I don't take them seriously. Maybe they'll be able to build them up into something, but Karrion Kross has been a joke for so long.
Yeah.
And putting him in these short little backstage segments, it's not enough. It's not enough to get me invested. World Tag Team title match, War Raiders versus Judgment Day.
This was, ouch, a rough one to watch, actually, with one of the spots that happened. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, he got fucked up. So JD does this moonsault, smokes his fucking head on the table, and apparently he's broken several ribs.
Oh, yeah.
Punctured a lung.
It looked really bad.
Which it's like, whoa, buddy, punctured lung.
He fucked up.
He still worked the match.
He finished the match. Wrong. It was crazy, yeah.
He finished the whole match. You honestly could barely tell that he was, messed up, at least to the extent that we learned that he was messed up. I noted that Judgment Day got a jobber entrance. Both versions of Judgment Day on the show got the jobber entrance. So, I originally said, oh, well, Rhea Ripley is going to be worse off than Liv Morgan because Liv is still in the Judgment Day faction that's really hot with Dominic. But it seems like they might be cooling them off a bit, and not really pushing them as hard as they have been in the past. And it seems like Rhea Ripley is going to, be at, in the main marquee women's match at Mania, stuff like that. So my prediction on that, it may not be so. I like the War Raiders. This was the first time I saw them with their presentation that they used to have before they were the stupid Viking Raiders.
Right.
The theme song is a bit generic. They like these new theme songs that they have. They got to bring back Jim Johnston, or they got to get somebody in that's better. Because it's a lot of these entrance themes are so generic.
Exactly what I was saying.
NXT, because this is a spinoff of when they were the War Machine in the Indies. Okay.
Okay.
The crowd would get into it every time. They would go war, 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 and if you have the whole crowd like metal going war, 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 then you get into it. The problem is they've been the stupid Viking Raiders for like 4 or 5 years, so no one knows that anymore. So no one knows to get into the song, and the song doesn't really work. If they had been presented like that immediately out of NXT, the crowd would have been knowing to do it and be behind it, and it does fall flat because of that. Their in-ring work is great, but now they got to work on their character work because they've not had this character going for so long. Two Vikings in the modern day just didn't do them any favors, that's for sure.
Yeah. Carlito
Unfortunate.
at one point he spit an apple into the eyes of Ivar. I liked seeing Carlito. I like to see the apple.
Poor Carlito.
Dom hit a 619 into a moonsault for McDonough. Then Dom
so many injuries to
frog
him,
splash.
just
Thought maybe that
derails the
might
whole
be a finish,
career.
but broken up for a 2 count. I really didn't believe Judgment Day would win because War Raiders just got these belts.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I like the other tag team titles way more than these belts. These belts have too much red on them. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's too much red on the belts. It's kind of autistic, but whatever. Dom sets up Ivar for the 619 again. It's countered into the War Machine for the 1-2-3. War Raiders win. Decent tag match. I give it like 3.25 stars. It was a good match,
Decent match. I liked seeing the War Raiders go over, and I was shocked that that Judgment Day wasn't pushed the way that I thought they would be. But at the same time, yikes. With JD McDonough taking that crazy hit on the table, I wonder if this is going to actually just set back Judgment Day even further. They're losing one of their key members now. So,
yeah, they're in a tough spot now going into WrestleMania. So I don't know what's going to happen with them going forward. I think that this injury is probably serious enough that he won't be back by April 20th. So he's going to miss out on WrestleMania, which is tough. Then we got Pete Dunne backstage. Ludwig Kaiser walked up to him. Kaiser said somebody should show this guy how we do things around here. Then the New Day walked up to them. All this stuff with the New Day and the backstage, it just feels throwaway.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I'm not really.
They had to find something to do with them
about it at all. I just don't understand why we're wasting time on this shit. I really don't.
I mean, they invested so much time in the New Day in the last decade that I feel like they at least have to give them something. But at the same time, you're right. Like they're still coming out with no entrance theme. So I don't know what they're doing with that. Like at least give them a heel theme or make them heels when they come out. Their backstage segments don't seem to go anywhere. Like, last week we had the JBL segment and this week's so I don't know. Like you're right. Like they're kind of floundering. And I get, they were hot, but now that they're heels, I feel like they just don't know what the hell they're doing with them at this point.
It just feels kind of corny because he talks about how he's going to beat them in front of his family, and then they have this whole section segmented off for his family, and then they're not there. And then I'd say the reveal that they did where the family puts the shirts, shows the shirts that say New Day sucks.
Yeah.
I felt like it was really flat, didn't it? It was almost like they didn't know what they were doing or didn't have it on cue.
Very staged, very dry, no emotion, just like, oh, here we are. are. It's like, it's cheesy. It's cheesy. It doesn't feel like it means anything. It doesn't feel like it's legit. Even as people who are like, we understand it's fake, it still feels it's too fake, right? Like, give me some feeling of legitimacy, not just you're doing this to have an angle for these
it
guys.
just kind of stuck out as kind of being like almost like the old WWE under Vince type goofy comedy shit that's corny and doesn't necessarily work. I know that they want.
Good night, Lord DSP. Thanks for hanging out.
Job guys on shows because they want.
I took a 45-minute nap before I started the stream.
But I don't know how many people actually really get into that aspect of wrestling. How many guys really like the comedy jobber type? Like I could probably do without it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to appeal to every demographic again, but. The New Day was good for the kids' demographic for a while, but they're not going to care anymore. They're heels now. You know, the kids aren't into this thing anymore. So they're still doing these like segments for people that aren't the core audience. I feel. Yeah, I agree. It was too cheesy to really appeal to anyone at this point.
Yeah, I wrote down. Ray. He's looking a little out of shape. He's looking a little fat. I mean, he's in his 50s. The fact
he's
that
old.
He can still do the lucha moves like he does, and it be as smooth and believable as it is really a testament to him keeping himself in good shape and stuff like that. I gave it 3 stars out of 5 the match because it was competently done.
Yeah.
There were no botches, unlike last week. At least I didn't see any botching. Last week's match with Kofi and Ray, it was just a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Then we had Sami Zayn in the locker room. Seth Rollins showed up for a chat. Zayn said it was a mistake last week when he kicked Seth.
Right.
Rollins said you need to understand why people might be hesitant to believe it was a mistake because of whatever Zayn has going on with Roman Reigns. Rollins warned Zayn, saying if he does something like that again, then maybe people won't believe it was a mistake. Then Sami said he understood. Are we good? They did a bro hug, and Seth wished Zayn good luck in his match later. What did you think, Phil?
Again, it seems like they're going in so many different directions with these certain people. You don't know what angle they're going for. Is this setting up that Sami and Seth are going to go at it at the Rumble? Does this mean that, he really will help Roman? Will Roman betray him? I like it because you don't know what's going to happen at the Rumble. That's the good thing. There's no clear cut. This is where they're going with it. But when there's segment after segment after segment like this backstage, it becomes kind of like convoluted too much. Like, I saw 17 people now who don't trust each other at the Rumble. I say
PPP is just here to fuck with Phil.
So it's all right, but I just to be honest, I'm happy Saturday's the Rumble. If there was another week of Rumble buildup like this with these promos behind the stage, I would be like, enough is enough. I'm bored of this now.
I think the build has been good, but it needs to come now. We need to get the Royal Rumble. We need to get the payoff. We need to now start to see the direction for WrestleMania, where they're going at the top of the card, and get it going. Because now it's enough. We built it enough. We want to see it. I'm excited. I'm really excited for it. Probably the most excited I've been.
Can't wait. I'm off on Sunday, so I can stay up on Saturday and watch.
Awesome.
And so it's exciting. Jey Uso makes his entrance with rapper Quavo. He has a long walk to the ring.
It's like, I swear it felt like 10 minutes. I don't think it was, but it sure as hell felt like it. And I'm like, so this is going to be a good segment, right? No, it wasn't good at all. It was just a waste of so much time for him to come out and say literally nothing. Oh, I lost to Gunther, but I know I can beat him. I'm going to win the Rumble. And that was it. Like, what the hell did we just do all that for?
I wrote, this is such a boilerplate promo. He's going to win the Rumble. He believes he can beat Gunther even though he lost. Well, what would make us believe this?
Right.
PvPs is still on Peacock.
Gunther from last week.
So yeah, only the Raw stuff's on Netflix. Everything else is on Peacock.
It was lame. It was lazy. It was just an excuse to fill time. And I just felt like it was just too long, him coming to the ring. I know they want to milk that reaction and let the fans have fun. But you're sitting there watching. It must have taken him 4 minutes to get to the ring or to the table where he cut this promo.
You can have fun without killing time. Like Daniel Bryan doing the yes took a minute to go around the ring, and then he was in the ring. You can have that crowd interaction without wasting everyone's time. And I just, if this was a match, I wouldn't care. But as a promo, it was a waste of time. I was pissed that it was so long.
Lyra Valkyria backstage promo. I wrote she has a huge chin.
I say yeah, DSP seems to be actually trying this time. The first 3 episodes, it was just not in my head, yep, This time it feels like because the Saturday night event was more of a throwback to what he grew up with his dad, he seems to be more involved this time for once. Will he keep that up? Well, I'll have to wait and see if they make $500. Yeah, it's still separate. You still got to get Peacock. Although Peacock is cheap. Is Peacock even $10 a month? I can't remember how much it is, but it's pretty cheap. It's a lot cheaper than Netflix.
Makeup is caked on thick. The blue hair isn't doing her many favors. I wrote, how old is this up-and-comer? And I learned it was 28. I wrote, it's a rough 28. She says she's entering the Royal Rumble before being interrupted by Chad Gable, who says Ivy is going to beat her for the IC title. Ivy tries to say she's going to beat Lyra, and this lady can't talk. Beat Lyra, and this lady can't talk at
Yeah,
all.
it was weird. It was like, first of all, I don't even know who Ivy is because I've been watching for a month, and they never even said a word about her yet. So I'm like, who the hell is this? I guess she's part of the Alpha Academy, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Alpha Academy? And you're right. She doesn't come over good at all. She like bumbles it, and then it's like over. Like, what just happened? Was that supposed to be a promo or something? Like, I don't know. It certainly didn't seem to want to build up any match. I guess that's what they're doing. And if that's the case, does anyone really care about this match coming up? I certainly don't after that.
Oh, it's super stiff and wooden delivery she had. Obviously, we can tell why she's with Chad Gable and why she's in that stable, this Ivy, because she's not ready to be a solo act, not ready for prime time. Then we get Otis and Tozawa doing squat thrusts. Kind of just silly, goofy stuff. Then we got Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Bianca and Naomi. Once again, the Judgment Day get jobber entrances.
No intro, yep.
But that shocked me because they actually ended up winning the match, which I thought there was no fucking way they were going to win the match based on how this group has been presented and how much they want to push Bianca and Naomi. But this match, it was decent. What did you think, Phil?
Yeah, I put really good tag team wrestling from the women. Which I haven't seen in years, you know, because I haven't been watching the product. Really, for the first tag team match we've seen, you know, I mean, Naomi is used to being a tag team wrestler. I don't know if Bianca has done a lot of tag team wrestling. I know she was the women's champion for a while there.
You can watch Al Snow talk about
And
weather.
Liv and Raquel, I guess,
Al
already
Snow's
have
always
been
been
together for a while, so they're probably
shut up,
used to it.
Al Snow's another wrestler that never held the big title. He was there for years. He put in the work, but he never had a chance to get the big title. Sad face.
I like the classic distraction with Dirty Dom coming in and interfering and the sneak attacks and everything. It was a classic tag team title match, but it's disappointing when you see a match like that.
Miz
and
was
they win.
great.
It's like, oh yeah, but that's right.
The Awesome Truth was
shit.
awesome.
You know, I was like, oh, there was really no stakes to this match.
I love the
Now
Miz.
it's
I love
probably
R-Truth.
an
So
upcoming title match
it was
in
great
the
to watch
future.
them team up together
I'm not
and
sure
win.
if it's going to go anywhere with this or not, or if this will be it. Hopefully it goes somewhere. But yeah, it was a good match. Lots of action in it. I liked the finish of it. I liked Dom getting involved. Good way to protect Bianca and Naomi, but you know,
Yes,
Liv and
physical man
Raquel
lives from
win,
bigger,
'cause Judgment Day
unfortunately.
needs some wins right now. Holy fuck, it's not looking good for them. Then we got Rhea Ripley interview. Again, this is just another one of these Royal Rumble type promos where she's talking about mommy is always on top and
like I get that. That line makes sense if she was a heel in Judgment Day and you would say something like that. She's supposed to be the champion and she says it. It's like, does that really fit what a champion would say? And that she's a face? Like, it's kind of confusing to me. That sexual innuendo, but she's supposed to be the top woman. Like, I don't know. It's off-putting.
A woman being sexual, guys, help!
I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, she's like her character. I don't know what it is yet. I still can't figure it out what she's supposed to be right now.
Yeah, Bailey interrupted to say she won the Rumble last year and said that maybe Ripley will see her at this year's WrestleMania. Ripley wished her good luck. Then after Ripley left, Bailey saw Io Sky. Io Sky told Bailey she'll see her Saturday at the Royal Rumble. That was it. Some people think Io Sky is going to win this Women's Royal Rumble.
That'd be cool.
I guess we'll get it. I don't know. The Women's Royal Rumble, I think Charlotte's going to win. Who do you think's going to win it, Phil?
It's confusing because I've been watching for a month just like you. I really can't remember the women who were in it. Like, I could tell you right now 5 or 10 top guys in the Men's Rumble, but the Women's Rumble has kind of been fumbled and mispresented. So I don't think it'll be Bailey. If Bailey just won it, I don't think she's going to win it. I don't think Nia Jax is going to win it. Like, maybe if Charlotte's in it, I guess, but I haven't been watching SmackDown, so
Charlotte or Becky Lynch, but neither of them have really.
I see some clips from Japanese wrestling get posted on Twitter every now and then.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting.
By the way, we got a $5 super chat from Roxanne saying y'all did your homework. Not sure what other contributions have come through, if any, but I did want to shout that out.
Well, we did have two super chats earlier, but I don't know if you want to answer this.
What about my asshole? And
exactly. Clammy V and Cave Teeth both did super chats asking about starfishes. So
I fucking spread my asshole wide. It was pink. It was a beautiful pink, pristine hairless
what the
asshole
fuck?
for all the world to see. It was Kino as fuck. I drank a 40-ounce of rum that night. I put fucking thumbtacks in my head. I was bleeding all over.
Oh my god!
It's quite the spectacle to see. If you've never seen it,
what the fuck?
It's quite something. So we've both had our embarrassing moments there, Phil. Although yours is less explicit somehow than mine. One of the few people out there who somehow gone even more deviant than you on that. Okay, we got a Penta vignette. Penta says he wants to take on the best in the company, and he will be in the Royal Rumble this Saturday. you know, it is what it is. It's just another one of these. He's going to be in the Royal Rumble. I like the vignette.
That's
I
pretty
thought it made
neat.
him look cool. I like the presentation. I like what
I'm
they've
happy
been
that they're
doing
able to
with Penta so
expand
far.
with the
I want to see
brand
more
like
of
that.
Penta. I'm going to buy the Penta mask. You know, I went to go buy the Penta mask from WWE shop, and they told me that the mask won't be delivered until fucking April 20th.
Oh my god.
So it's like I don't know if I'm gonna fucking buy it or not at that point.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, how
if
long do you
I
want
have
to wait for
wait
this
fucking
thing?
3
Crazy.
months to get this mask, and it's like over $100 fucking dollars. Like,
Damn.
holy shit, or Canadian dollars anyway. Then Paul Heyman came to the ring. This is a segment for you, DSP Gaming, because we got the unveiling of the WWE 2K25 poster. What did you think of this whole segment with Paul Heyman? I think he's one of the best talkers out there. What?
I guess we both missed it. There was actually quite a few subs that happened over on Kick, so I want to shout them out because we did miss them. So there was 5 subs dropped by $250,000 Man.
Let's go, $250,000 Man coming through. Now,
Thank you.
$250,000 Man, it was his suggestion, really. He said in chat the other day, he was like, Phil, put it on in the afternoon. People with jobs need to watch at night. So it's good that he did come through with those 5 subs at least.
Thank
when
you.
he complained about it, got the time slot moved.
There you go. We have Subby Wubby did a gifted membership, or excuse me, a gifted sub. Thank you, Subby. $250,000 Man did another one, so that's 6 for $250,000 Man. And then we had Rare Tricks gifted one. Thank you, Rare Tricks. Subby Wubby did another one, and then Dank Sneed Pimp did 3 more. So I don't know how we missed all these. So that's a good 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 more subs that actually hit. Let's get those on the leaderboard. That's a good.
It's not up to the goal yet.
We're now at 410. 410
All
out
right,
of 500.
Let's just get the 20 subs right now. Let's hit it. Let's hit this goal. Let's get the freezer reveal from Phil next week. Let's get the. We didn't even get the sock cam, I don't think.
No, we didn't do it. No, we didn't do it yet. No,
we gotta hit the goal for the sock cam of Phil and the freezer reveal next week. Otherwise, we're
so
not
fucking
getting
bad.
jack fucking shit. The support is low. Very low there.
Is that true? Code Noir says Waffins had promised 20 subs tonight, and Waffins is not around. So what's going on?
Waffins doesn't even watch the Kino Casino.
That would be
anymore.
pretty cool if Diclonius.
Well, I don't know what Waffins is doing.
I
these
haven't
days.
bought a
We love
WWE
you,
game in
Waffins. What a legend
years.
you are, but no, I don't think Waffins will be dropping 20 subs for the wrestling show anytime soon. He's more of a political guy, if you catch my grift, and a very demented political guy at that. Okay, Sofa Waffles. What do we got here? The Paul Heyman promo. What did you think, Phil? Give us. Oh, Dank Sneed Pimp has gifted 4 subs.
Cool.
And Hank 4720 has gifted a sub as well, putting us 15 away from the goal over on Kick.
Nice.
Yeah, we hit it. God bless the goal.
Yeah, my Kick chat's messed up. That's what's going on. My Kick chat isn't showing me anything, so let me refresh it. That's why I'm not catching them. I'm like, what the hell? Nothing's popping up here. All right, cool, awesome. So as for Paul Heyman, first of all, Paul Heyman's the best. Let's be honest here. He's the best promo guy in the business. I think he always will be. I don't think anyone's ever going to beat this guy at cutting promos at this point. You know, you could think, when you think like legendary promos, you think like Bobby the Brain Heenan from back in the day with his humor and everything. You think Paul Heyman in the modern era. He was definitely under the weather because he was like profusely sweating before he even spoke. And when he went to say WWE 2K25, he said WWA. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he knows the name of the company. So I think he's a little sick tonight. But it's a good promo.
Poor Heyman.
You know, he's basically saying everyone wants to be Roman Reigns at this point. And, you know, Roman Reigns is the cover of WWE 2K25. They reveal the cover of the new game. And Drew McIntyre interrupts. Let's see here. Basically, the crowd is so upset that Drew came out because I think they were expecting that maybe Roman was going to come out. So they're just like,
at one point, we want Roman.
Right. They just want
Now-
him to shut up. They don't want to hear Drew anymore. Like, you know, just get Roman out here. We don't have anything. This guy's been jobbing week after week. They just don't want any of him. They don't care about him. He says stuff like he's the daddy of the bloodline. He was the catalyst that caused the whole bloodline to start back in the beginning years and years ago. And he said, I'm the one who slayed the beast in 2020, which incidentally, if anyone doesn't know, that was the last wrestling match I saw was when Drew McIntyre slayed the beast at that WrestleMania. And apparently that caused the entire bloodline plotline to start because then it was Roman teaming up with Paul Heyman. And he says that Paul Heyman had harnessed Roman for evil, and so you basically owe me like a thank you, right? So I liked the segment. I don't know what it did for the game though. Like, you know, coming out to promote the game didn't really seem to have much. Like, the last thing on my mind during the segment was the game. You know?
No, it had nothing to do with the video game. There's no announcement of features or things that might be in the game that people are interested in.
Something like no break
Apparently,
the
game,
streak.
from what I'm hearing, is going to have deeper cuts from the music library, deeper cuts from the arenas. There'll be new, like, retro arenas and stuff like this. I don't know. They're hyping it up as though it's going to be something amazing. Seems like the games are pretty similar year over year. I haven't really.
One feature I've heard people talk about is they want a Monday Night War. They want to be where you can choose to be the GM of Raw or of Nitro, and then you got to make the contracts, you got to make the matches, you got to make the promotions. You got to make it as in-depth as possible to give you countless hours of game time. Like, can you win the Monday Night War? Monday Night Wars. Can you be the guy that saves Nitro, or can you be the guy that crushes Nitro? That'd be really cool, but they don't really do anything like that anymore.
Been into the games as much in recent years. I feel like the gameplay style of it, I feel like there's like more of a barrier.
Oh, that's hilarious, Emilian.
Play style of it where it just feels less.
I hope he does that
intuitive
next time.
to
That'd be
play,
hilarious.
and less easy to pick up and get into than it did in the past.
What it is if you have played the previous games and you have that knowledge base, then it's very easy to jump into because you just say, what did they add this year? But if you don't play it for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years and you try to play it, like, wait, what is all this? Now you grapple with this, you do this, and then you got to learn so much. It's not really fun play. You know, I played it every single year until maybe like 5 years ago, and then I got tired of it because it was so samey every year. Some years they would have a really good campaign. It'd be like, oh, it's Attitude Era. You're playing as Austin. You're playing as Kane. Wow, this is cool. And then the next year it was like, you're a fucking jobber, created wrestler, and you're going through indie leagues. Like, what am I playing right now? Like, how can it be such a different game?
A lot of the showcases are really, really fun. Where, you know, like, you know, but I think it was like last year, the year before, they did the John Cena campaign, right? And I just find sometimes it gets really frustrating trying to recreate certain moments in the match.
Right.
Like, it just feels like you don't have enough control to make it happen, like to put them up against the railing and then land the move or whatever. And sometimes it just gets so frustrating trying to do that I end up fucking giving up on it. But I mean, it's just, maybe I got to get good or whatever, but I find that frustrating. I thought Drew and Paul had some decent, you know, chemistry in this. You know, the way that Paul Heyman was selling for Drew, like he was so scared, like he was shitting his pants, I thought was good. But, you know, it's just Drew is just not, he's just not him.
Right.
I don't know. I just don't believe that he's a legitimate threat to Roman Reigns. I don't think they're ever going to put him over Roman Reigns.
Right.
And I don't even know if they're even going to give him the Roman Reigns match. I mean, a lot of people are thinking that Roman Reigns is going to win the Rumble and have the trilogy with Cody Rhodes. So I'm not sure what they're building towards for Drew, and they've been having him lose a lot recently. And then we got the Drew versus Sami Zayn match.
Yes.
They highlight before the match is Sami is 0-10 versus Drew. Not sure we really want to highlight this. They've wrestled 10 times already, and they just had the match at Saturday night's main event last month.
Yeah.
So we're really recycling shit. This is really the weakest main event that they've put together so far. All the other main events of Raw up until this one, I thought were really good, big match feel main events. And, you know, I wrote in the notes here, will this end by roll-up? And they did tease that a fair bit. I'm like, are they going to keep doing this roll-up streak for Drew McIntyre? Are they really going to do that to him?
That would be pretty funny.
Maybe if they did that, maybe it would build more for Sami to win the Rumble, but that's not what ended up happening. Sami hit a tornado DDT at one point. I'm not sure what caused this, but he started bleeding.
Yeah.
And he was bleeding all over the place. And the spot where they were on the floor before commercial, I wrote kind of a little bit joking, but it almost looks like an axe murder with all the blood from such a little cut. Was it a blood packet? Was it a real, like, what was this?
Head wounds do bleed like a bitch.
Yeah, I think it was legit because it was out of nowhere and it didn't seem to go anywhere in the story of the match. So I do think that it was like a legit cut on the side of his head. Was it? Maybe, I think it was that, like somewhere here or the ear maybe, and it was just like going bad. Yeah.
Then I noticed the ref. Did you notice that the ref was out of place in this match? Because it really distracted me. I wrote down, I noticed the ref looks stupid. He's sporting some sort of douchey mohawk, and he's wearing this terrible gray shirt with black stripes. Why fix what isn't fucking broken? Why fuck around with that aspect of the presentation with the, just the black and white stripes for a referee shirt? Why it was this weird gray shirt with black stripes? I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like that aspect of the presentation at all, and I thought the ref looked like a fucking dunce, and it took me out of the match for a minute. Drew goes for the Claymore kick. He misses into a roll-up from Sami, which I thought this might actually be the end of the match, but it was a kick out. Then Drew goes into the post, and then Sami hits an exploder suplex. He goes for the haluva kick, misses, and then Drew hits the roll-up puts his feet on the ropes, the classic old cheating, the leverage maneuver, and gets the 1-2-3. I still gave the match 3.25 stars. It was the weakest main event so far, although people here are pointing out it wasn't the main event. But it was kind of interesting what happens here after. And I wrote down, how many times are we going to do this match now? Like, is Sammy ever going to win? It's 11-0 for Drew McIntyre. Drew starts beating up Sammy. Cody comes out for the save. Then Kevin Owens jumps Cody. Drew and Kevin gain the advantage. When Sammy accidentally haluva kicks Cody, commentary are skeptical. It's accidental. KO then gives Sammy props. And, you know, the show then had a false ending.
This confused me. Yeah, I was like, is this bonus footage that I'm watching? Was this actually broadcast? The way that they kind of like, that was the end of the show. And then all of a sudden they're back and there's like an interview. And I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on, you know, with the show. It was bizarre. It confused me. I don't know if this was intentional the way that they did it or not, honestly. It was just odd.
That's not saying much, DSP. If a puzzle says 2 + 2 = what, you get confused, have to ask chat to tell you how to beat the puzzle. So that confusing you, it isn't really saying much.
Yeah, there was like the Made in Georgia logo hit.
Right.
And then, so you're, oh, that's the end. And then there's a commercial for a Roman Reigns documentary or something. But then it cuts to Cody back in the ring with a microphone in his hand. And Cody starts cutting a promo. He says he spent his whole life wanting to get his hands on the WWE title. Cody said it's a mindset that makes you a champion. Cody said nobody's worked more matches than him. He shows up first and leaves last and continues to do so. Cody said he's looking forward to the Royal Rumble so he can move past Kevin Owens, and then here comes CM Punk. And I was hyped for this, like this confrontation. And you wouldn't remember this, but the confrontation before the Rumble last year, I think, was also between Punk and Cody. So it was kind of a throwback to that. Punk makes his entrance. He asked Cody if he was all right. So, are you doing all right, man? And Punk said he was his friend and he worries about him. But Punk said it looks like all of this is starting to get to him. He said he knows what that title can do to a man because he was champion for 434 days. And somewhere around that 300-day mark, it made him burn out. What did you think of this segment overall, Phil, just before we keep going through the play-by-play of all what happened?
I liked the CM Punk side of it because it's a callback to all this stuff from back in the day when I was actively watching the product. And I remember the streak that Punk had and how momentous it was at the time. He was breaking records. But didn't Cody come across really weird here? Like, he's like, well, what do you think is next for me? Well, what are you talking about? I was like, he's not even like contributing. He was just kind of like deer in headlights almost during this part. And it really was off-putting. You would think it's
like DSP for the first 3 episodes of Smart Guys. Yeah, contributed absolutely fucking nothing.
Right before the Rumble, and they're going to go back and forth. And it didn't seem like that, at least during
that
it
seemed
part.
like they made a mistake.
Confused. Someone in chat said, what,
like,
was he drunk or
oops,
something during the segment? Like, it was really odd the way it was written.
It's interesting because, you know, I kind of got spoiled on. I knew that this was going to happen, and I heard people raving about how good this segment was, and it was one of the best promo segments ever. And then when I actually got to it, I don't know if the bar was just set way too high, but I was a bit disappointed with how Cody was presenting himself during this promo.
Yeah,
I guess like because they're supposed to be both baby faces and friends and kayfabe and stuff like that. That maybe that's why it came across a bit awkward here, because there's not like a clear babyface heel dynamic or necessarily a clear story here. I definitely got what Punk was trying to say, that the title's getting to Cody, the pressure's getting to him, he's losing friends and stuff like that. But Cody's element of it, you know, it was a bit lacking.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a bit lacking on Cody's end, for sure. Lady Christmas, you were there in person and it was great. I don't know how it came across. It was still a good segment. Nobody is denying that it's a good segment. It's just like certain parts of what Cody was saying, it just didn't come across, I think, that great.
Right.
You know, his big point, I guess, is that, you know, he was always chasing Punk, but now Punk is
chasing him for the title. Yep.
And they each had their moment where each was walking off and they grabbed the other by the shoulder and said, no, I'm not done talking to you. And there was an intensity that came across. And so they're teasing that this might be the match, that this might be at WrestleMania. But it feels like one of these guys has to change their alignment for this match to really work.
I say face
like
versus face doesn't really work.
Cody has to turn heel, which they've kind of been teasing or like leaving little clues that maybe Cody is going to turn heel. or maybe CM Punk turns heel. And this is kind of where we turn into the Royal Rumble preview. Now, you didn't see Survivor Series War Games, did you, Phil?
No, I didn't. No.
So CM Punk made an agreement to help Roman Reigns win the match against the New Bloodline. But Paul Heyman made a deal with him where he would do CM Punk a favor. So I imagine that's going to come into play in this Royal Rumble match. And perhaps what's going to happen is that Roman Reigns or Paul Heyman, maybe Paul will screw Roman and allow Punk to win. Or maybe Roman Reigns will help Punk win and sacrifice it himself. I saw somebody, and it would really make people seethe, but I saw somebody give a theory that they think the final two would be Roman Reigns and Punk. And then Paul Heyman whispers in his ear and Roman steps over the top rope and just gives it to Punk on the advice of the wise man. People would shit on that. They would,
of course.
They would hate that. Rightfully so.
But I think that that's going to play in somehow in Punk's road to WrestleMania, perhaps in the Royal Rumble match itself. Who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble right now, Phil, if you had to say?
Whoever
It's
eliminates
hard to say.
Reigns.
I would say out of all the contenders that they're pushing, you can tell who's not winning. Like, for example, I don't think Seth Rollins has a chance in hell of winning. I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to win. I don't think Sami Zayn is going to win. Like, you go down the list. Logan Paul is not going to win this thing.
No.
You know? But when you look at who's the serious contenders, yeah, I mean, I'm not watching SmackDown. So all I can do is think in my head, who would they want to position for WrestleMania? Punk is 100% my front runner, but maybe that's too obvious. You know, if he wins, it might just be, well, everyone kind of thinks he's going to win, right? Maybe it could be Roman Reigns, but they've already done Roman Reigns to death. And, you know,
what about Cena?
I don't think Cena's going to win this.
I don't think he would, but you never know.
Really don't want Cena to win. And if Cena wins, I'm going to be fucking pissed, dude. I'm really not going to be happy if it's John Cena. But you know who I'd be even more upset if it is? And this is now, I didn't even realize it today until I went on some forums and I started reading some people's opinions. But Randy Orton. It might be Randy Orton.
See, this is the thing. Since they didn't do the whole who's number 30, who's 29, who's number 1, you don't have a perspective laid out of the match this time. So you're right. At any moment, they could have people coming in who you never expected would be in this thing, surprise returns, you know, and they could go for twists and swerves. I like that about the match, but I hope that it doesn't end up something that everyone, like, remember when Batista returned and won the Rumble and everyone was like, oh, fuck, you know? I hope they don't do some dumb shit like that again. Have it go somewhere that people are going to back and like.
It might be The Rock. It might be The Rock coming back.
Don't be The Rock.
I would like that. Personally, I love The Rock. I think he's awesome. I think he makes wrestling cool when he's there. I think he makes it feel like a big deal. But a lot of people are soured on The Rock, you know, feel like he's too
rightfully
corporate,
so.
he's too cheesy these days. I really thought the final boss Rock character from last year at WrestleMania was awesome, and I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see the conclusion of him versus Cody or him versus Roman. They kind of teased that The Rock was going to come back and kick Cody's ass, or at least challenge Cody, and Rock had that fake belt, the People's Champ belt. You didn't see any of this, but he had the People's Champ belt with the bull on it. And his last appearance was, he's like, Cody, can I hold your belt? And Rock let Cody hold his belt, and Cody held his belt. And Rock said he was coming back for him. But then on the Netflix comeback, Rock is suddenly friends with Cody Rhodes and palling around with him and, you know, being a real baby face and an ass kisser. And I kind of accepted that
it can't be The Rock or John Cena, in my opinion.
And that eventually
this better not be.
There would be a payoff to all of this. But I actually
Chris J, how's it going?
At this point, if The Rock is coming back for WrestleMania to finish the story with Cody Rhodes or not. But I actually would I'd like that match.
This is all new stuff to me because I came from before the era where there actually was payoff. Like this Roman Reigns plotline, I think what's happened has laid the groundwork that WWE will now do these very long-term bookings. But they didn't do that back then. If you got behind a plot line 5-6 years ago, if you were invested, chances were within 5-6 months, they were going to botch it. It was going to be all effed up, and then they would forget all about it, and then they would never actually finish it. So it was always hard for me to get invested in long-term booking, and I would like, yeah, they're never going to do that. But now it seems like with the Cody Rhodes and, you know, the Roman Reigns, they've done this a couple times, and it's worked. So you're right. Maybe they will pull a big swerve, and it'll be someone like The Rock or someone coming out of nowhere completing a plot line that's been on hold for almost a year.
Just saying, Goldust winning and then using it to challenge his brother to be like, I deserve my own story. I was here before you, asshole. Would be hilarious.
I just don't know because I haven't been watching the product, so I don't know about those kind of plot lines. Would I be upset if Rock won the Rumble? I'm going to be honest, yes. I'm tired. This guy has come back a million times. You know, we were just talking about CM Punk. He had Rock came back, just challenges him for the title at the Rumble for no reason, beats Punk, and now it's, you know, Rock versus Cena for the title at WrestleMania. Why? You know, this guy just walks back in the company and gets handed everything every once in a while. I don't like that. That pisses me off. I want to see him in matches. I don't want to see him being at the top of the spectacle, you know? It's the same thing with Brock Lesnar.
I look at it is The Rock is the biggest star. He's the biggest attraction. He's going to draw in people that would regularly watch to see The Rock. And I think a win over The Rock for anybody, Cody, Roman Reigns, I think it means a lot. But the question is, would he actually even do the job for them? I think The Rock, if he does come back, is going to go over at WrestleMania and take the title from Cody Rhodes or take the title from Roman or whoever. But I don't know. It for me, last year, I wanted The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I wanted that big boss. I know no one else wanted it.
I've been paying attention for years.
Everybody cried, and they forced the hand. But Cody Rhodes isn't him. Cody Rhodes is not the guy. I don't think he's that marquee attraction on the level of The Rock or on the level of Roman. I don't think he can be that guy. So I would have liked to see that match, but I'm in an extreme minority with that, and I think I'm in an extreme minority with my favorability towards The Rock and wanting. Part of it is too that I just want to see people upset. I just want to see people cry and fucking.
You just want to see the world burn, man. You just want to see that chaos.
I do, man. I really do. I just want to see people freak the fuck out. No, Cody was supposed to finish the story for the 12th time. Because they get so mad whenever it's not what the internet wants to happen. And I know this is a minority view too, but I really think
and WWE is pretty good at
giving into the fans
giving swerves.
Daniel Bryan. Not because Daniel Bryan winning was the wrong call. It was the right call to have Daniel Bryan win and to have that WrestleMania moment, but it set this precedent that the fickle internet fans control the show and not the actual bookers and people in charge. And this led to garbage like Kofi Kingston becoming champion.
Kofi Kingston should have been champion, damn it.
Beating Brock Lesnar at fucking WrestleMania. Just total fucking nonsense. And Jabroni's getting pushed because they deserve it. Well, no, actually, Kofi Kingston, rather, did not deserve to be champion. And I don't think Cody Rhodes earned being champion either. I think both of those guys are mid-card acts. Certainly Cody is more credible than Kofi Kingston was. But this idea that the fans have that every fickle little idea that they get into their heads about whatever flavor of the month wrestler should become champion, and then once they get it, they don't actually give a fuck. Like once Cody actually finished the story and won the belt and the chase was over, there hasn't been that same level of hype or buzz or support from it. Sometimes the fans don't actually know what they want and don't actually know what's best for business because they're actually just retarded fat fans like me running their blowhole.
It's interesting because
he's not wrong.
What you just said about how WWE is catering to this new era of internet fans. Look at what they've been promoting in the last couple of weeks. I show speed is going to be at the Royal Rumble, and the other guy, too, Kai Cenat, will be at the Royal Rumble. And you see, you're like, who gives a fuck that they're going to be at the Royal Rumble? What did they have to do with pro wrestling? Nothing. But they think that by appealing to this internet crowd, right, the hot kids, this is what they're into. And you're right. They're looking at that new era of internet fandom and who people are getting behind on the internet as an excuse to basically push certain people. The Kofi Kingston one was one of the biggest botch jobs ever. If they were going to give it to him, they had to be serious about it and commit to a plot line that made sense, where he was going to be built and he was going to win. That was the worst thing they could have done at that point.
Yeah, that's just bullshit, him losing like that.
In 7 seconds, which I just laughed my ass off. I really fucking did. And
what a joke.
Don't know. I think a lot of the wrestling fans are garbage and that they do deserve to suffer, and that Vince was right in a lot of respects. That wrestling fans,
I mean, he's not wrong.
The lowest life form.
Yeah, that was definitely a Vince McMahon decision. It was fucking
that's
bullshit.
That's just me, and that's just my take.
It was Kofi time, damn it.
I don't know. I'm excited for the Royal Rumble. So the men's Royal Rumble, probably CM Punk wins. It could be. I think it's either Punk, Roman Reigns, or The Rock would be my 3 picks.
I'm gonna go with either Punk, Roman Reigns, or a surprise entrant that absolutely no one's thinking about, because they have not talked about these spots. And usually when they do that, it's because they're going to have a shocking entrant that no one's expecting. So
yeah. And then Cody Rhodes is going to retain. There's a tag title match, I think. Let me pull up this card just quick, and then we'll get out of here because I think we're in overtime.
Yeah.
What time do we got to have?
We're not at the goal yet, guys.
It's like 10 p.m. You know, because I still gotta do my schedule stuff.
Yes. Okay. Women's Royal Rumble match. I think Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch. I'll go Charlotte Flair, and then it's DIY Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the belt.
That might be good.
Funny thing is, several wrestlers know who DSP is. So can you imagine? Guys, we hit it. We hit the $5,000 goal. So now I get to go to WrestleMania front row. Can you imagine he's on camera? And when the wrestler goes up to him and goes, get a job! One person will be Joe Biden. And he'll be lost. He won't know where he's at. He won't know what's going on.
Good.
It's actually going to be a pretty good match. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Might steal the show. I don't know who's going to win this match. Probably DIY. I'd actually like to see the Motor City Machine Guns get it.
I haven't seen them in ages, so that'll be exciting to see them against DIY.
They're old now, though. But they're getting, you know what? They're getting their final run in.
Their flowers. They're going to get their flowers.
They're going to get their flowers, and they might get the belts here at the show. But I think I'll go with DIY to win.
Dang Sneak Pimp just gifted 5 subs on Kick. Thank you, Dag Sneak Pimp.
And how close does that put us? We're only 10 subs away?
We are 465. Yeah, so we are 35 away from hitting the goal.
$35 to see Phil's freezer next week? Are you guys really going to give up? Will you throw in the fridge and freezer?
Having the Jackson on top of him. I'm married. Get off of me. I'm married.
Let's hit it to see Phil's fridge and freezer next week, like unheard of. And then also he'll show us his socks tonight. Can we hit it? Let's hit that goal. There's a couple, I guess. There's only 4 matches, though, on the show. So these Royal Rumble matches, Rare Tricks has gifted 5 subs. We're so close.
Wow.
We're so close for the fridge and freezer goal. Can we hit it? Let's get the goal, Bish.
$4.90.
We're $10 away. You're telling me you guys are going to pass up on the Phil fridge and freezer combo pictures? Perhaps even video evidence. We'll see what Phil comes up with. Spawn Killer for $2 says, I really hope Charlotte doesn't win. Well, a lot of people have been saying that for a very long time, but it doesn't change the fact that the Queen is going to win. You know? I'd sooner see her win than Becky Lynch, though. I'm kind of done with Becky Lynch. I feel like she was just over. They've both been over pushed.
I think
so
Io Sky should
hard.
win, in my
Fuck,
opinion.
I can't
But you never
stand
know.
either one of them. But at least I find Charlotte less. I don't know. This is a fucking battle. Which is less cringe?
I find it shocking. I've been away from wrestling for 5 years. I've come back, and you're telling me the top 2 people are literally the same top 2 women that were, 5 years ago. Like nothing's changed in 5 years. So if anything, what that says is they sadly have not done a good job.
Dude,
of
the numbers
building
don't go
female
that high.
talent that's believable outside of Rhea Ripley. Like that's it. They built one woman in 5 years. That's pretty sad.
Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy time. Pretty sure she's been built up. Just saying. Tiffy time.
All the other women seem to be doing nothing, at least that we see on Raw. I guess Liv Morgan, she has a little bit of a push behind her. She's getting showcased. Bailey, we see the odd time, but Bailey, has been around a long time now. I try and think, Bailey is an up and
He hits a goal. DSP roommate gives him a
10
Mississauga
fucking
finisher.
years.
Ew. Gross.
Like, it's just not so long ago she was with Sasha Banks at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and I was like, wow, these are some up and coming prospects, and it's like, fuck.
Thanks, Seed
so
Pimp,
old.
with a gifted sub. We're up to
One
$4.97.
We are
$4.97.
$3 away. We better end the show and scam them before they can actually hit the goal.
Have a good
So,
night, everyone. See you
Dr.
next.
Herbert
got
West
it.
for a gifted sub. We hit the goal, everybody.
There you go.
It means we're getting the fridge, the freezer reveal. Phil's going to show his socks in a second here. And also, we'll talk quickly. Did you see, Phil, Triple H is going into the Hall of Fame this year?
If DSP could match PPP's energy, this would be actually a pretty good show. And if both of them watch SmackDown, like, all right, guys, we're not going to cover AEW. We're only going to cover WWE. So they watch SmackDown, they watch NXT, and they went more in depth and less sock coverage, less shitting themselves coverage, and just focus on wrestling. Might actually be a pretty good show. But DSP cannot match PPP's energy. And for some reason, neither one of them can watch SmackDown. Why? I don't know. Yokozuna stinker? Ew.
Someone mentioned that to me, and you know what? It's sad because you know what that means is that heart condition he has is really bad, and he's not going to wrestle again, which sucks because you want to see these guys get like one last good match in, but
He can't,
it is
though.
what it is. He absolutely deserves it, I feel. So, good on him.
Well, I don't think there's any question that he deserves it, especially considering some of the people who are in there, like Coco Beware, like Bob Barker's in there, fucking Drew Carey's in there, all the celebrities and shit like that.
Pete Rose.
But I think the decision for him to go into the Hall of Fame his first year in charge of the company, Triple H is always known for like putting himself over, being self-masturbatory and all of this. So it's like, really? You get put in charge of the company and you're putting yourself in the Hall of Fame the first year? The optics of that, I think, are kind of fucked and it makes it look silly. But now they've tried to cope and say, oh, no, it wasn't his decision to put himself in. Stephanie, his wife, surprised him as though, he wouldn't know what his wife is fucking up to. And all these other names are going to co-sign it or whatever. But I think, like, it would have been better to wait a few years at least just for the sake of optics. But it doesn't really matter because the Hall of Fame doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Especially these days, it just feels
The
kind
smart
of like
guys,
an
no.
afterthought.
Monday
I
Night
remember,
Raw and then
like, as a kid,
especially
thinking
Royal
it was
Rumble.
a
Royal
really
Rumble's
big
amazing
deal on
every year.
WrestleMania weekend and stuff, but I haven't been tuning into the Hall of Fame ceremony in years and years now. I don't know if you used to tune into it or whatever.
Oh,
but
I did a few times, and I was actually there in person when I went to WrestleMania 2013. I was there in person at the Hall of Fame for Booker T's induction, which was really cool to see him go.
PPP knows what he's
So,
doing, but
it's
not
a nice
DSP,
spectacle, but
unfortunately.
yeah. And the funny part is, you may not realize this, Triple H is already in the Hall of Fame. He's already been
With
inducted
DX.
for DX. So
Yeah.
it's not a
kinda
big
shit.
deal.
How many times are guys going to get inducted? He'll probably get inducted for Evolution as well.
Right. Yep.
So he'll probably get inducted 3 times or maybe even more, depending on what other group they decide, is going to be inducted or whatever. You got Captain Based Pants for $2. Let's go, he said, for a great episode of the Benoit,
The Benoit Boys. And also
That's fucked
Hand
up.
Solo 2069 with a sub over on Kick. So thank you guys.
All right. Well, Phil, are you doing the sock cam? What do we got?
The cam over here screwed up, but what we can do, I could just do it. It'll actually look better on this cam because it'll be bigger.
Here we go, guys.
You ready? Look at
It's
this.
the big reveal. Whoa!
All blue to match the background. There you go.
There we go. It's what everybody
Wow,
came and
guys.
paid to see, folks.
Very exciting stuff right here.
This is the new OnlyFans arc of Dark Side Phil. All right. Actually, I think this was our best episode we've done. I was really happy with this episode. I'm happy we hit the goal. I think
This actually wasn't that bad of a show. Still not great. But if like the first three were like 3 out of 10s, maybe 3.5 out of 10, this show's probably going to be like a 5.5 out of 10, maybe even a 6. PvP obviously carries the show as always, but DSP apparently actually watched Saturday Night Main Event. Monday Night Raw, I think he probably watched a review or read a summary of it, but I think he actually watched Saturday Night Main Event. So he actually had something to talk about.
the flow was great. I think Phil's wrestling analysis, now that he's up to speed and knows what's going on,
I'm getting into it finally, yeah.
Better and better and better every single week. Phil's an absolute star, shining tonight, and I was really happy with this episode. I hope you were happy with it as well, Phil.
Well, I'm absolutely upset that you insulted my wife, but outside of that, it was a really good episode. Thank you.
You know, that was a bit awkward, but we're moving past it now. We're trying to figure it out. All right, guys. Well, I think we'll be back, on Tuesday?
That's what we should probably do, right? We'll watch the Rumble, we'll watch Raw, and we'll try to come back fresh on Tuesday. That would be the perfect time. And it will be the late night session like we did tonight. We're not going to be doing the earlier ones unless something has to change again, but I think it went well. Attendance was good to having it as the late night session. So yeah, I think this worked for sure.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
See you next week, guys. And hold on.
You got the $500. He gets clock out now, guys. Run away, run away. So is that it? He's not gonna come back or anything? I thought he'd come back for at least for a little bit. Yeah, PPP is putting in the work. I think PPP actually loves wrestling, and that's why he wants to do this. But he said earlier, like, Worski hates wrestling. Worski will not watch wrestling at all. So he wants to do this. Holy shit, he really did just clock out. DSP really said, alright, we had to go, fuck you, I'm out. Huh. I thought he'd at least come back in for a little bit. No, he really clocked out. Damn. DSP is Gaslight the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, like PPP seems to actually care about wrestling and wants to talk about it with someone, which Worski won't do because he hates wrestling. It's like, oh, wait a minute. DSP likes wrestling. Wait a minute. You haven't watched wrestling in 5 years? Why the fuck are you spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on gacha related to WWE games like Supercard, Immortals, and Champions, but you don't actually fucking watch it? What the fuck, dude? Start watching it. So I think he's actually happy about this. Like, he's happy that he finally gets to talk about wrestling with someone. I love Alicia. Alicia is hilarious. And she talked about owning a restaurant. Like, she owns a restaurant, which I thought was interesting because DSP's always, guys, I'd love to own a restaurant. I'd love to have people come in and buy my sauce, guys. It'd be great for people to come to my restaurant. She actually has a restaurant. She has a small mom and pop style restaurant. Not a franchise, just a small whatever in Canada. She owns 2? Oh, damn, I thought she only had 1. So yeah, I love her content. Her reacting to South Park was hilarious. Her reacting to Digital Circus was fantastic. Her reacting to Bill Burr made me laugh my ass off. Indian place and a fish and chips place. All right, cool. Her stuff is hilarious. And is that Movie Munchies? It is Movie Munchies. Movie Munchies are hilarious. Fresh out the boat from Vietnam, it's like when they watched Terminator, they didn't know who Arnold Schwarzenegger was. They're just, oh wow, he's so big. Wow, he's a really big man. It's like, yeah, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they didn't know who he was. Yeah, on a bridge with guy to watch Jesse Jackson episode, that was hilarious. Or they watched, what was it? From Dusk Till Dawn. They didn't know about the twist. Like, they didn't know about the vampire twist in From Dusk Till Dawn. It's like, watching with them, like, they don't know about the twist. They don't know what's going to happen. Like, oh, this is going to be amazing. Like, to find someone who doesn't know the twist is so rare, because obviously all my friends have seen it, because saw it when it came out in theaters and all that. Like, so to find someone who's not watched the movie and doesn't know the twist is hilarious to watch. Alright, well, guys, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get back to bed. I say, she's fucking great. Check her out, guys. Leisha X Death is her name. Let me type that in chat so you guys... There we go. Yeah, she's hilarious. Check her out if we have the time. Well, yeah, like I said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this. Like, subscribe, comment down below. There should be Dark Souls 2, or yeah, Dark Souls Remastered Stream 2 tomorrow. Fuck those rats. I'm gonna go back to the other Firelink Shrine. Go back to the other Firelink Shrine. I can take the elevator up and not deal with those stupid fucking rats poisoning me all the time. Wait a sec, alright. As a set a poll. Was this episode better than the first 3? Because I will give them props. I think this is actually a better... I think this was a better episode for them. PvP's been trying to carry this for 3 episodes in a row. So to finally... Jorge gifted a membership to Jorge. Alright. Hala hala hala. Put a dollar Jorge. And that gets you... We'll put you on the members list. Why not? You know, and paid. So you're a member now, and you paid. And it's my stream, we do whatever the fuck I want. But I actually feel this was a better episode. I think it's because DSP actually watched Saturday Night Main Event. Because it was more nostalgic to him. So, like, he actually took the time to watch it. But then the Raw, I think he just watched a summary of it or read a review of it. I don't think he actually watched all of it. Or maybe he, like my one friend, he watched Naruto. Wanna know how he watched it? Oh, they're talking. Fast forward. Oh, a fight's going on. Watch the fight. Okay, they're talking again. Fast forward. Like, he got through the entire show in, like, less than a day because he's like, oh, they're not fighting. Fast forward. Oh, they're fighting again. Play. Okay, they're talking again. Fast forward. He was doing the same thing with, what show? The Unit. I don't think I can give... Let's see. Membership gifting. Yeah, I don't think you can just choose who to gift to, because I've tried before, and it won't let me. It just shotguns out. Yeah, he started watching the show The Unit. He's like, oh, it's The Unit. Oh, it's going back to the wives at home. Nope, fast forward. All right, back to The Unit. Press play. Oh, okay, they're back to the wives. Fast forward. Back to The Unit. Press play. Oh, back to the wives. Fast forward. Back to The Unit. Press play. Is like, How the fuck do you watch TV shows like this? On Twitch you can, but on YouTube you can't? Okay. I was just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Because I was at his house after we got done eating at Osaka's, and he's like, oh, I've been watching you, it's really good. And he gets the wisely said, what are you doing? I don't care about the wives. Fuck the wives. I only care about the unit. It's like, alright. How do you... Like, and this is not the only shows. Like, these are not the only shows he's done this with. Naruto and Unit are the recent ones, but he's done it with other shows in the past where he's just like, don't care about this person, fast forward. Alright, hit play. Fast forward. Hit play. It's like, how do you watch a 24 episodes a season show so quickly? Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fuck you. Press play, fast forward, press play, fast forward, press play. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Jorge's trying. Holla holla for the dollar, Jorge. I won't let me thumbs up or anything. Sometimes super chat and like thumbs up and hit a heart and all that. Yeah, you think it would give it to someone in the chat. And not people who aren't watching. That's weird. Ooh, this might actually be enough. I get to do another emote. We got Christopher Garcia, but not Chris J. And I'm going to have to post a link to the Discord. Ooh, I might have a hop in Discord after this. So shit, before I forget, let me do that. Because I am very much the kind of person who would definitely forget to do that. Right there, Discord. Now will my Discord load? Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Me and a sandwich? No, never. Can't do that, dude. Copy. So then I'm about to do, Dude, what the fuck? Your card got flagged? What? That's crazy. Wonder why they would do that. Anyways, all channel members, Discord link. You only eat finger sandwiches? But dude, where do you get so many fingers? Oh fuck, man. Holla holla for the dollar Jorge. And like, technically later today. This is already past midnight. Oh fuck, Sonny! I'm pretty sure I already got you on the list, don't I? Oh, I already got you on both lists. Holla holla holla. Oh, come on. Holy shit. I'm never gonna have to look at to see if I need to do another emote. Oh, majority of my exes, Chris. Majority of my exes. Nah, that's not true. There's really only 2 exes I don't get along with. That's because they cheated on me. Well, other exes either amicable or someone I still talk to. You know, just a case of like, oh hey, they moved. to Florida or to Texas or Arizona for work or family. Or now it's at 50-50, so we're gonna end the poll because it's 50-50. There, that way no one wins. It's still going. Ba-do-ba-doo. Ba-do-ba-doo. No, say it was like I'm just glad I'm not up. I'm not working tomorrow. Ah, say if I was working tomorrow, I wouldn't be up this late. See, if you don't have auto accept on, it may not give it to you. You have the technology, we can rebuild it. We can make it better, stronger, faster. Harder, better, faster, stronger. I think that's how the song goes. Let's see, memberships. Let's show. Yeah, it's not showing the new ones yet. Here we go. I now have 61 members that better give me another emote. They better give me another emote after this. First, I'm gonna have to remember how to make emotes. I'm gonna have to figure this out later. Honestly, yeah, the rules, depending on, with Twitch, fuck, I mean, with Twitch, you can just show up and get them. I said, I'll just be sitting, like, it'd be my first time there, I'm not even following the person, all of a sudden, hey, here you go, like, I'm not even following them, what the fuck? Although it's been a while since I've been on Twitch. Except for when I'm watching Lord Diaz parody. He was doing a Professor Oak run on Pokemon Leaf Green, I think. Can't make too much money, guys. Or then I'm going to have to spend it all on WWE Champions. I love it. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to have to let you guys go. Again, thank you for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have one hell of a day. And maybe see you tomorrow for some Dark Souls. Return to the world of Dark Souls. Who let the souls out? Who let the souls out? Who? I need to go to bed. Yes, I do. Yeah, see you guys again. Thank you for hanging out, and holla holla for the da everybody. I already posted a link to the Discord for the members, so go ahead and check it out.